American players was given a red card, and the red card was supposed to suspend the player for a day. The red card was supposed to suspend the American player for a day, and that would have taken him out of the game against Belgium. Apparently, this is one of the best players on the U.S. team. He got a red card for some sort of foul. I'm going to be candid. I do not know a lot about that sport, but this is what I can ascertain or I can understand so far. He got a red card, and he was supposed to be suspended. President Trump, in effort to boost the Americans' chance and get this suspended player back in the game, picked up the phone and made a phone call. And all things being said, this player will be back on the field in the game. So, and let me know, somebody's saying muted. You guys can hear sound on YouTube? Because somebody is saying we're muted. You were good here muted. Let me know if you guys can hear me or not. If not, I'm going to have to reset something. Okay, so you guys can hear me. And I'm back from dental surgery, so I'm having some issues here. Anyway, all right, so if you can hear me, they just messing with you. Dark Horse, thank you for letting your boy know that. I appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the potential of what I refer to as either FIFA fraud or World Cup corruption. And President Trump made a call. Now, I got hammered by one of my beloved MAGA viewers telling me that, criticizing Trump on this amounts to nothing more than Trump derangement syndrome. Trump derangement syndrome. I don't know. I guess I'd have to ask you folks. Do you think it was wrong for the president to intervene in this shit?
But all I did, I asked for a review because I didn't think it was a foul. And, again, I'm good at this stuff. I didn't think it was a foul. I thought it was two great athletes that crashed into each other and got entangled. That was not a guy punching somebody in the face or anything that, would be different. So I saw the play, and I'm a person that loves sports and was a good athlete. And I understand sports really well. Really well. And that wasn't a foul. That wasn't even an infraction. There was two guys running full speed that happened to crash into each other. He didn't do anything wrong, and he's our best player or one of our best players. A very vital player. And he gave him a red card. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't think it meant much. Then I started hearing that means he can't play in the next game, at least in the next game. I said, boy, that's a big, if it happened to another player, it would have been unfair. But when they take your best player, or just about, they have some great players, and they say you can't play, that's very unfair. But
now, let me make something clear. And I see in the comments, Chris says it was controversial. No need to discuss soccer here. Let me just say this. There's not a sport in existence that does not occasionally have controversial calls. Whole championships have been won and lost on controversial calls. That's just part of sports. That's part of sports. Why the hell is the president of the United States getting involved in this? If a country, what was it, Tom Brady with the inflating of balls during the Super Bowl? I mean, this is part of sports. Controversial calls take place. Do the world leaders get involved if their team is the subject of a controversial call? Look, even if the call was wrong, even if you feel adamant the call was wrong, is it the place of a world leader to get involved in that? Or should that be left up to the referees? Now, apparently, the individual that President Trump made the phone call to is a friend of President Trump's. The president is saying he had nothing to do with them changing the play, or changing the penalty. Better yet, reversing the penalty. Trump is claiming innocence. He's saying he made the phone call because he thought, as you hear him say, he didn't think it was a foul. But he's saying all he did was make the phone call. He didn't have nothing to do with them reversing it. I don't think most of the world agrees with that. And I'm going to just be candid with you. If an event like this happened, and let's say China or Russia did the exact same thing Trump did on behalf of one of their players, we wouldn't believe Putin or Xi Jinping either. If they said all I did was made a phone call, I didn't have nothing to do with the reversal of the decision, and you knew that the person they called was a friend of theirs and all of this, we would not accept that type of a statement from Xi Jinping if China did it or Vladimir Putin if Russia did it. So I'm just going to simply say the world thinks we're cheating on this. Go figure. In addition to this comment, and whether or not you think it's cheating, because I do want to, I guess I would also ask before we move on to the second topic. And thank you, Birdman, for the hat and mustache. Appreciate that. Shout out to Manny Fresh, Lil Wayne, and the rest of the crew. Thank you, and Juvenile. Thank you, Birdman. Also, I guess I would ask this simple question. Let's say America emerges victorious. Marty Marr, yeehaw! Thanks for the hat and mustache. Some of you folks showing the program some love early. Appreciate it. If America emerges victorious in the World Cup, and you got this asterisk of President Trump calling, and all of a sudden one of the star players of the American team is reinstated despite the red card, will this come across as we're cheating to the rest of the world? Do you think the rest of the world will view this as a legitimate victory if we win with what has just taken place? A disqualified player being reinstated, and the president, at the very least, making a phone call. We can continue more and say what happened and what did not, but at the very least, making a phone call. So we'll talk about that. Also, what I want you guys to hear, this one is kind of humorous, but once again, all things Trump. And what he says here, this is President Trump. What he says here is absolutely true. I can tell you based on my own program, but I also thought it was funny. So I'll see if I can make sure the audio is set properly. But this is President Trump claiming to be number one on yet another social issue concerning most Americans.
You know who the number one person at TikTok is by far? Trump, me. I just got I'm number one. Like Taylor Swift was number 11. I'm number one in TikTok by far. And the numbers just came out, and I said, well, I'm hearing about how they influence. They're talking about their tremendous danger because they influence, but if they influence so badly, I mean, I'm saying all things like I love our country, we got to stop communism, we got to this and that, we're doing a lot of things, but I'm by far number one. It was sent to me by, the list comes out, number one, number two. I was number one by a lot. So I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe they're bad, maybe they're not.
Yeah, I would tell you right off the bat, I believe President Trump. I believe he is number one on TikTok. And as he says, by far, even more so than Taylor Swift. But I'll tell you something. They talk about Satan more than they do Moses in most churches. So it's not necessarily always a good thing to be number one. Fact is, unlike Taylor Swift, who Trump is saying he has much more views on TikTok than Taylor Swift, there's not a lot of people on TikTok bashing Taylor Swift. Most of the coverage of Taylor Swift on social media is positive coverage. President Trump has a lot of folks that love him, a lot of folks that hate him. If you took away President Trump's, better yet, if you took away the detractors of President Trump and only focused on the people that like him, and then compared that to the number of people that like Taylor Swift, I think Taylor Swift would be significantly higher than Trump because she got a lot of love and attention worldwide. And whereas President Trump outside of America, his numbers drop off sharply. But President Trump is beating Taylor Swift because there's going to be tens of millions of people that are posting about President Trump on social media that is basically amounts to hate mail. They don't like the guy. There's a lot of people that don't like Trump. There's not a lot of people that don't like Taylor Swift, which is why I said They talk about Satan more than they do Moses in most churches. That's not necessarily a good thing. They talk about Hitler more than they do Mother Teresa all over social media. So just because you're getting talked about more don't always mean it's a good thing. Last but not least, this one here I thought was interesting enough that I want to get your opinion on this. I'm assuming this is going to play, but I thought this was really interesting coming from a pastor here.
It's never been a Christian nation. You don't live in one now. We had godly people get on boats and come over here so they could worship. Godly people. We've had the greatest Bible preachers in the 15, 16, 1700s. Godly people. Some of the people that constructed this country, godly people. But it has never been a Christian nation.
Wow.
And never will be.
Before he continues on, by way of yes or no in the comments, yes or no, do you believe America is a Christian nation? You hear this a lot because they're not even putting God back in schools, or at least down in Texas they're doing it. They're trying to do it in Oklahoma. Do you believe, by way of yes or no in the comments, do you believe America is a Christian nation?
A Christian nation would never have killed and displaced 20 million Native Americans who are still left out and living in poverty. A Christian nation would never have thought that owning slaves was pleasing to God, or that it lined up with Scripture in any way, shape, or size. And we not only practiced it, but we were so obsessed with it that we went to war about it. We had a civil war. And in that civil war, 500,000 Americans died. That's more than Americans that died in World War II or any other war we've ever had. Our own civil war. We killed 500,000 of our own people so people could have the right to own other people.
I'm having a Biden moment. Strong language coming from a pastor. You know, before we go and get into the show, and we'll certainly talk about whether or not you think America's a Christian nation or not, I've often said that myself, because the Bible has not changed from that period of time. And, you know, for someone like myself who is kind of hazy on religion at this later stage in my life, but I was more religious when I was younger. And I do kind of wonder, how could those folks have been reading from the same Bible we still read from today and think what they were doing was okay and that they would be saved? We're suggesting that people are going to go to hell in modern times for doing a whole lot less than what they were doing back then. A whole lot less. So I have often wondered, how could they be reading from the same Bible we do now, and they were thinking somehow, some way that they were all going to heaven? I mean, because most of those folks were significantly more religious than we are now. Everybody went to church damn near back in the 17 and 1800s. Everybody went, including the slave masters. They all went. Hell, even the Klan often met at churches and burned crosses. All of those folks were Christian. So I don't understand how they would have thought, based on what we've been taught in modern times, that they were going to heaven. I don't get that. Anyhow, so moving on with the program. As you know how the program is ran, we don't block, ban, or censor. I had dental surgery not long ago, so I'm kind of still loopy a little bit, but we don't block, ban, or censor. You guys know how the program is. We're MAGA friendly. Livers are welcome on the program as well. Our comments go left of Mom Donnie, who continues to be in the news, to I'm having a dinner with Q. One other quick topic. Look at the screen. What the hell does this mean to you? I'm going to be asking folks who come on live. You see the photo here? This happened on our 250th anniversary. A bunch of white males donning masks, completely covered up, flooded a subway train, or a public transportation car looks like. This one woman of color is sitting there in the middle of all of this shit. This happened on our 250th anniversary. Remember, we're talking about all the progress we've made over the years. So I certainly want to ask you folks, as you come up and in the comments, how do you analyze this? What does this mean to you? Wow. All wearing masks, sunglasses, and they didn't want to be recognized at all. I mean, only thing they are showing you is their nose and fingers. Everything is covered up. Everything. No tattoos, none. Everything's covered up. So in the comments, real quick before we continue on, Billy Buckeye, you says it's been debunked. You're telling me this photo has been debunked? This is a Reuters photo. You're the first to hear say that. I don't think this has been debunked. Someone exposed their names and ages. Is that true? And Billy Buckeye, you're saying the picture has been debunked. Has anybody else heard that? Billy Buckeye is saying this is AI. Has anyone else on any platform heard that this is AI and that this picture has been debunked? Just want to make sure if it's one person just pulling strings. Billy Buckeye, you're on some bullshit. Everybody in all of the comment section says what you're saying is not true. So I'm going to say you, sir, have been debunked. Stick the ruler, tap the screen. Folks, get the lights on up to 10,000 or 20,000, if you will. Stick the ruler, good evening. Not much at all. What does this photo say to you?
The South shall rise again. Everything that everything that MAGA produces, the essence of MAGA, all of that right there is in one photo. And what the black folks have to deal with.
How do you know they're MAGA?
I
know it's a dumb fucking question. Right? I know it's a dumb fucking question, but I gotta ask that. How do you know they're MAGA?
Yeah. So number one, they call themselves patriots, just like they call themselves Christians, nationalists. So they got all the three tenements of what you need to make up a MAGA. They're nationalists, white nationalists, Christians that all have the same belief. So yeah, they MAGA.
Yeah, and one of the things I will say is, you notice you don't hear the Trump administration. Now, if all of these folks were BLM and they were surrounding a white girl, I think you would hear more from the right. You notice the right ain't really saying nothing about this at all?
They're not going to say nothing. They're going to just say, oh, they were just on the train. It just happened to be a whole bunch of them, and it was just, she was there. That's what they're going to say. They're going to say that just so happened the day that they chose to do it, it was one black girl in there. And I mean, she wasn't harmed, so, you know.
They've already said that.
They're not realizing the psychological thing that's going on with all these people in masks, and nobody can be really identified. All of them have the same uniform on.
Well, that's one thing. That's one thing that I've heard is that unlike liberal protesters and organizations, they didn't harm her. They didn't set the train on fire. They were peaceful protesters. Do they get credit because they truly did protest peacefully?
No, they don't get shit from me. It's what they protesting. They're not protesting to help me in any form or fashion. They're not protesting something that needs to be protested, like, you know, school pew-pewings and shit like that. They out there for their skin.
Well, I don't.
Man, kiss my ass.
Well,
kiss my ass.
How do you know they were protesting based on skin color? They were saying words like liberty and freedom, and they're talking about taking the country back.
Again, taking the country back. Who took it? Who the fuck took it?
They believe that there are too many unknowns in this great nation. The Biden administration opened up the borders, let all these strangers in. They're harming people. Take the damn country back for real Americans, real patriots.
So all the governors pretty much on the border states are Republicans, except for the ones up north. And then probably 9 times out of 10, when you go through Montana and all of that stuff, they're probably Republicans. So at the end of the day, nobody gives a god doggone what they talking about, because number one, they lying. They're still in control. Trump is in office. He cares about the white sentiment in this country. He's a white T-man. I mean, the Republicans run the Congress. The Republicans, in the sense, the white T folks run the god doggone judicial system. What are we talking about?
Well, you
Who
do.
stole what?
And thank you, DJ Shaker Snake. Appreciate that mustache. How do you, when you're saying the white team, man? President Trump has been quoted as saying he's done more for African Americans than anybody since Abraham Lincoln. So clearly, there is a sentiment that Trump has done more than just for white people.
Listen, I ain't gonna let you piss me off today.
I'm quoting the commander in chief.
Yeah, you quoting an idiot. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna let Gangsta Grandma handle you with that.
Well, he's not an idiot, Stick. The president's not an idiot.
Man, listen, he's the king of idiots.
I wish I could be so dumb. We can talk plenty, but the idea that this guy
it's only 77 million of them. Think about what I'm finna tell you. It was 90 million people that didn't vote. It was 75 million people that voted for Ms. Harris. You combine those together, because I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen for the midterms. Those two things are going to combine together, and they're going to vote for Democrats. You're going to have just the same way that they felt when Barack Obama came in and they needed another white T man to come up there and worry about the white T sentiment and try to fix some shit like Washington.
How confident, but Stick, how confident? Because everybody was confident before the last election that this woman was going to be victorious. And she lost all 7 swing states. Are you sure what you're talking about is going to happen?
Well, for TikTok and educational purposes only, and entertainment purposes only, there's viral videos going out right now showing that a man is willing to testify because he was there, part of the CIA, saying that they stole the fucking election.
Oh my! From Kamala Harris?
Yeah. They stole it from her. Yes, she won by a bigger margin. So anyway, for TikTok entertainment purposes only, I just let y'all.
Kamala Harris is not even claiming that.
I will let y'all do y'all research and y'all figure that out for yourself. But the man said he is willing to testify. So going forward,
he's one man, though, Stick. He is one man.
Hey, so is Donald Trump, and he's fucking up the world.
How is he fucking up the world? There are nations that are doing better. Man. I think Iran is doing better because of Trump.
Because of us. Because of our taxpayer money, they finna be doing better. Because of our taxpayer money, GDP is finna go up. Because of our taxpayer money, I said the stealing, right?
Okay.
I was asking who stole this country. I tell you who stole the country, the same motherfucker that just got $2.2 billion.
How did
he? Motherfucker, he's stealing.
Wait, stealing how?
What do you mean stealing how?
Stealing? What is Trump stole? Trump ain't stole anything. What has he stolen?
No. Oh, he's trying. First of all, he's trying to get the Gaza Strip. He wants to make that the Riviera of the Mediterranean or whatever he said.
Riviera of the Middle East. Yes, he did say that.
There you go. The Middle East. And then on top of that, you got him with these Bitcoins. Somehow the investors lost money, but he
that ain't stealing though. I mean, you invest in crypto, you can lose money. Investing comes with a cost.
No, you invest in Trump, you're gonna lose money. That's a guarantee. Half the time, it's not even guaranteed for you to even get the damn product. The treason ones, I ain't seen nobody with them some bitches.
What?
The goddamn the rump watch. Yeah, it's missing a T. The rump watch. I ain't seen nobody wearing the rump watch. The goddamn what was it? The cards. Also he got so much shit. I don't even think people got their steaks. So yeah, like Trump flown.
But I want to tell you something. I get that Trump is He's a businessman that's got his hands in everything. Some might even argue he's conning them to a degree. But one thing I'm going to disagree with you on vehemently: Trump is not an idiot. He is very intelligent. That is a smart man. You may not agree with what he's doing, but that guy is getting everything he wants out of life.
He's not getting everything he wants because he wants people to love him. But constantly, because of his greed for fucking money, he pisses people off. He undoes deals. Because he's so fucking jealous of Barack Obama, every other day he has to come out with a goddamn tweet about Barack Obama, who ain't been in office in 10 damn years. Like, what are we talking about?
I don't. You say he wants people to love him. Tens of millions of people obviously do. And there's no way in hell you're going to look at the Democrat Party and tell me he wants those people to love him. Some people he don't give a fuck about whether they like him or not. I mean, he's made it clear he hates Democrats. So it would be crazy to think Trump wants that half of this country to love him.
But he's the same goddamn president to tell you better respect the presidency or what?
Well, there's going to be problems.
Well, why would there be problems if you don't care? Why would it be a problem if you already done told everybody that is your opposition that you hate them? You said it.
Well, there's a difference between. There's a difference between. Wait a minute.
For him, that doesn't make any sense.
There's a difference between saying that you should love the president versus respecting the president, though. I mean, maybe he's not trying to force you to love him, but he doesn't want like Whoopi Goldberg or Jimmy Kimmel types on the air. He doesn't want the disrespect, is what he's saying.
Don't leave yourself open to disrespect. When you say stupid shit, people say stupid shit about you. When you do stupid shit, people say stupid shit about you. And it's only describing what you are doing and how you're acting. So if it sounds stupid to you or embarrassing, stop fucking doing it.
But Stick, any president is going to have people saying crazy. I mean, Obama, there were plenty of people on TV, particularly Fox News, saying negative stuff about Obama all the time. That's just part of being president.
Exactly. So my whole point of it is, why are you out here trying to make laws and rules and shit like that about the president being talked about or the government being talked about? No, that's the freedom of speech.
Because he wants the
freedom of speech.
Well, he's not exactly as clear on freedom of speech maybe as you are. He wants the respect. So you're talking freedom of speech, he's talking respect. Put some respect on his name.
So again, when it's let me see, when they were talking about Joe, when he talks about Joe, a previous president, when he talks about Obama, a previous president, oh, it's okay. But as soon as somebody say something about his bitch ass, then it's different. No, man, we're gonna keep this shit going. We gonna ride your ass out. We're gonna do you like the Dirty Dozens. We're gonna do you like In Living Color. We're gonna do you like Saturday Night Live. We're gonna do you like shit. My name is goddamn Dave Chappelle. I don't give a damn. If shit's fucked up and we gonna point it out and we try to make light of it and we gotta clown you, that's what we gonna do.
Well, just for TikTok, as you say, TikTok is for educational purposes, and just to clear up something, to make sure it's not recorded in TikTok. You didn't just call our 47th Commander-in-Chief a bitch, did you? You do want to clear that up, right? For TikTok purposes, of course.
Negative. He's a bitch. He's always crying. He's always moaning. They. You know what? I'm just ready for him to say they hate me worse than a nigga. I'm waiting for him to say that. I'm waiting for him to say some Tom Moore shit off of Roots. I definitely am on TV.
Well,
they hated me all my life.
Well, think about it. I do have some folks who have suggested that he has a lot in common with Jesus because he's been persecuted like that.
No, he would have been a thief on the cross. And the only thing about it, Jesus would have forgave him and let him come to heaven because he was on the cross with it. That's the part right there. But then also you got the rich man that it's a better chance of a camel going through the eye of a needle than a rich man. So I mean, would he have made it? Would he have said,
I don't know, but a lot of
y'all got a different cross y'all can put me on? Because this motherfucker right here he don't deserve to be next to me. Like, I mean, that's how I would have seen it. He don't deserve to be next to me.
I don't know, but a lot of Christians, a lot of evangelicals believe that President Trump is a lot closer to being God than Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, or even Joe Biden. So we can have this discussion, but a lot of folks that eat, sleep, and breathe religion, they see Trump as closer to what they see as opposed to anybody on the left.
So let me get this straight. The same evangelicals that was behind Mike Pence, because he was actually an evangelical, chose Trump over the evangelical who actually they were following behind in the first place. That's what you just told me, right?
Well, as they say, Trump was sent by God. He may be a flawed man, but
did you hear the breakdown I just gave?
Yeah.
The evangelicals, that only reason they even was probably even Trump was on the radar was because Mike Pence brought them over to brought the flock over. And so then the flock said, well, I like this sinner better than I like this evangelical that's like me, supposedly.
Well,
I'm going to go behind the sinner, the 34-time felon, the cheated on his wife, all of them. And we can tell his wife don't even care for him now because she always pushes his hand away and make faces when his head is turned. Like, we got this shit all on camera. That's what you're telling me.
Well, before I'm moving on, I'll just say this thing. Sometimes God works in mysterious ways. So maybe they sent somebody who appears, it's somebody who may appear flawed to the eyes of man, but as they say, God works in mysterious ways. So that's what we're doing.
I'm gonna leave it like this, Tim. You know he whispers in everybody's ear, the devil does, right? And then, versus the devil, he's a devil, he's a this, he's a that. Then he say, hey, man, come talk to me. And then as soon as he go talk to him and they get back there in the room where nobody can hear what's being said, they come out and then all of a sudden they love Trump. I just love you.
He's a deal maker. Look what he did with the World Cup. He's a deal maker. He gets deals done. He is a deal maker.
Listen, Tim, don't let him whisper in your ear, Tim. Don't let him whisper in your ear.
Shit.
He whisper in your ear, Tim. Like the gangster grandma said, your tonsils are gonna be tickling.
He might whisper in my ear, and I'll be doing lives from large yachts from now on. Who knows? I might be doing lives from the back of a Bentley. He is the wealth whisperer. Last word to you.
And you think that you're gonna be rich, but you ain't gonna be rich. Your ass gonna be in hell when your soul gets. Yeah, that's all he's doing. He's whispering in your ear, giving you, say, hey man, look, you'll be the first Florida governor, Byron Donalds, if you just kiss the ring. Yes, sir, boss. Eyes will be kissing the ring. Tim Kuhn, I need you to type up some fake numbers for me.
I gotta go.
Yes, sir, boss. I'll be right there in a minute.
In the words that I can't think of the actor's name, but he took the life of Nino Brown while saying, "Your soul is required in hell." Stick, appreciate it. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 40,000, if you will. You guys know how we do it. USA is not going to win tonight, says Chris. I just got to say this. My humble opinion, and we can certainly talk to you guests about it, but I don't think it would be a good win for the United States. If we end up winning in the World Cup, and you got this in our past, I mean, where this is the first time I think this is the first time this has ever happened, where they reversed a red card like this. So it would certainly give us an asterisk behind our victory. So I don't favor it. To me, even if it's a bad call, even if it's controversial, a world leader has no place in that. No country's president or prime minister or the king has no place getting involved in a ball game. There's a lot of other things you guys can work out to get peace and harmony on this planet. Leave that alone. A controversial call is a controversial call. There's a lot of big time sports events that have ended on controversial calls. Fighters and competitors who you knew lost but was called a winner. I mean, that stuff is happening all the time. I don't think the president should get involved. So that's just my humble opinion. in the comments and tap the screen, get us up to 40,000. We'll take the next caller. A narcissist does not care about that. No, you know something? Listen, I personally, everybody agrees Trump is a narcissist. That's not even TDS as they call it. Even the right agrees with that. I don't. I think the way Trump is moving, in my humble opinion, he's moving for himself. I don't. He's moving and shaking like he's here for the here and now. I don't think he cares what's going on in the future. You got analysts on News Nation and stuff like that. You know, some of the political analysts are even saying he don't even look like he cares what's going to happen in the midterms. All of these folks are capitulating to Trump on the right, bending over backwards to make sure he can do whatever he wants. And it doesn't even appear as if he cares if they get reelected or not. I mean, some of the stuff he's saying and doing, like, this is bad for your party's chances in November. So I don't think he cares about any of that stuff, but maybe I am wrong. In the comments, he needs to worry about America, not a game. Now, did you hear now that they're getting a helipad at the White House? Trump is saying that, what is it? Marine One, the helicopter, like I think it looks like this one. Marine One, the helicopter, has been landing on grass all this time. So Trump is going to build a helipad out of granite on the White House property with a big symbol of America, you know, I guess with the presidential seal or something like that that the helicopter will land on. Okay, I don't look at the end of the day, I'm not gonna criticize him too heavily on this, but at some point you gotta stop redecorating your crib and take care of the American people. Like you getting everything at your crib. Like we ain't eating out here is the point I'm making. We're not eating out here. It's getting so bad that you're complaining about socialists taking over and communists taking over because people don't like what's going on. Look out for the American people before you keep going shopping for yourself. Because, once again, we are paying for this stuff. Real quick, before we go to the next caller, I believe these helicopters are made by a company called Sikorsky. President Trump stated, due to the power and weight of these helicopters landing on the grass, that's one of the reasons they need to build a granite helipad. And that because he claims Sikorsky, the maker of these things, didn't tell us how powerful they are. When they take off, they, I guess, do damage to the lawn or whatever. So he's claiming Sikorsky is going to pay for the helipad. Yes or no? Do you believe that? Do you believe that helipad of granite is going to be paid for by the makers of these helicopters? Or do you believe it's going to come out of the taxpayers' dime? And I'm only asking that because Trump has said so many things are going to be paid for by the taxpayers, from the military parade to the ballroom to the reflective pool. He says this all the time, things are going to be paid for by someone else. And then you hear him all of a sudden it's got to be paid for by the taxpayers. So he's saying that the taxpayers are not going to pay for this helipad. Go figure. Let me go back to the box, get us up to 40,000. Tap the screen, make that happen if you will. We'll go to Jeremy in the comments. Help people out with the hat, mustache, TikTok, cap, goals, if you will. In the comments, and hang on a second, Jeremy. Democrats are really going to hate Trump now. He just gave $250 to every child under 5 in America. How did he do that? Is this that Trump account? Is that $250 they can actually access today? Somebody in the comments is saying Trump is giving every child in America under 5 $250. Has anybody heard of this? Alexa, did President Trump give every child in America under 5 $250?
No, President Trump didn't give every child under 5 $250. The Trump Accounts program provides a one-time $1,000 deposit for eligible children born between 2025 and 2028. Would you like to know more about who qualifies for these Trump accounts and when they'll be distributed?
No, Alexa, stop. So no, that didn't happen. It looked like there may be, Alexa, stop. There may be something in there.
The Trump Accounts program.
Alexa, stop. This bitch won't stop talking. Okay, it doesn't look like that happened. So that viewer is incorrect about that. No, it's newborns, and I wouldn't believe that shit, says Arnita. Yeah, it sounds like he did give some people some money, but it ain't anywhere near as many as he is saying. Let me go back to Jeremy. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you
Okay,
doing?
I'm doing good. This FIFA World Cup. We'll go to that first. Is that corrupt? What is he doing?
I wasn't paying attention to that. I just got here.
Okay. Well, apparently one of I guess a couple players crashed into each other. A foul was given called a red card, and the red card prevented the American player, who's apparently is one of the stars on the team. He was supposed to be suspended for a game. They're playing against Belgium, and he was not going to be in that game, which would have swung some of the odds in Belgium's favor. President Trump disagreed with the penalty, made a phone call, and now this player is going to be playing again.
No, that's stupid.
Does it sound corrupt, though? This is the World Cup.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like here's the thing. I mean, the president is the president of the U.S. government, not the president of FIFA.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's
it's just a very obvious case of corruption. That would like everyone when like who's like tries to excuse this like MAGA reacts is gonna, or like what's his name straight talk commerce. They're gonna be like oh, he was just trying to do the right thing, and as president, and he has the right to do that. And then the one question I would like to ask is, okay, what if we replaced the name Trump with the name
Biden, Obama,
Gaddafi?
Kamala.
No, better. Gaddafi, like a third world dictator. Just replace Trump's name with a third world dictator and say that someone like do the exact
I get
same
it.
thing.
Yeah, I used the same example in the beginning of the live, and I said the same thing. If Russia had Putin make a phone call because of one of their athletes, or Xi Jinping of China did it, I said the exact same thing you're saying now, is we would not accept Trump's claim that he had nothing to do with the reversal of the decision. You made a phone call. The guy is your friend, by the way, that you called. All of a sudden, this is overturned. We wouldn't accept that same response coming from Xi Jinping or Vladimir Putin or anyone. So I agree with you, but you're right in regards to saying some MAGA are defending this. Me and Gen X talked outside of the program. He said I had Trump derangement syndrome for even bringing it up.
Yeah, well, trust me, people did the same thing with Obama, like when it comes to like worshiping him. But I'm tired of my own side not holding people accountable for their actions. You know, it's really annoying because, and then they'll call me a rhino and shit.
Yeah.
Which, I mostly don't care about because it's coming from people who will excuse literally anything. You know, but at some point, you gotta say, hey, a spade is a spade.
Yeah, it's interesting you would say that. If you go against MAGA, they'll call you a rhino, because I am starting to notice some of the. I always go to MAGA lives. I don't generally go in liberal when I'm not doing my own thing, and I go in somebody else's program. It's generally MAGA. I like talking to MAGA, and I'm starting to notice a few of them that I've been dealing with for a few years now. They're getting called rhinos and being chased by their own party for either criticizing the Iran war, having a difference of opinion on the Epstein files. That's exactly what's happening. I know a lot of MAGA that, I'm talking I stand with ICE MAGA, genuine MAGA that thought Alex Pretty was a domestic terrorist, all of the same shit. A lot of them are now being criticized and even threatened to some degree by other MAGA on social media because they disagree with Trump on just one issue or another. Usually it's Epstein or the Iran war, or how Netanyahu, in their opinion, is leading Trump. That's all it takes, just one difference of opinion.
Yeah, by the way, you got a spammer in your comments on Tamar NJ Best.
That's he's a friend of the program. Tamar comes up. What are you seeing from Tamar?
Yeah, he's been Tamar NJ Best. Yeah, he's been spamming the same comments over and over and over again.
Okay, but Tamar, stop typing the same damn comment. We bring Tamar up all the time. We do talk to him, but no, I do see what you're talking about, though, in regards to being called a rhino. Have you been criticized by any MAGA yourself? Because you voted for
Yeah,
Trump.
yeah, straight talk. But I also do find it hilarious when the left tries to come at me and say, like, but you voted for him. I'm like, okay, bitch, let me ask you a question. Did you vote for the drone strikes that Obama did?
I don't. I'll just say this.
Right?
Yeah, I get the point you're trying to make.
Like,
I get the point you're trying to make, but to be honest with you, I don't think most liberals even knew Obama was doing those drone strikes at the time. Compared to the Iran war and how Trump is going and starting a war without Congress and using Obama drone striking without Congress, I don't. I mean, I understand your point. He didn't get Congress to do that either, but when you look at the scope and the size of it, I don't know if I would. I don't see the comparison to those two things.
Yeah, well, again, like, well, no, hold on. I think that, just because somebody is doing something less often doesn't mean that every time they do it, it isn't bad. And my point isn't even like who's worse, Trump or Obama. My point is the problem with voting is once you get someone in office, you're stuck with them for X amount of years. So if someone's able to lie to you and convince you of that lie, that doesn't mean that you voted for the truth. You voted for the lie because you thought that the lie that they were telling you was good. I would understand if people are mad at me, like Trump make good on his promises, and they're like, I hate you because you voted for something that I don't like. And I'd be like, yeah, I did. I don't care that you don't like me because I think your principles are bad. I think your ideas are bad, so I voted for different ideas. But Trump lied, and he lied convincingly.
Yeah, they buy that stuff though. I'm still hearing people. A lot of things that Trump lied about, MAGA's still defending it. Even though we're going to end the Ukraine-Russian war in 24 hours. Well, he tried. We're going to bring down grocery prices on day one. Well, they're price gouging. They're still defending it.
I know. Well, I was talking about the liberals that are angry at me for voting for him, and then being like, oh, you like the second I change my mind and say like, this guy didn't do what he says, I'm going to do what any reasonable person would do and say, well, I don't support the guy who lied in the first place anymore.
I'm on your side with that.
I still voted for him.
Yeah, I'm on your side with that. If you don't like a candidate and somebody voted for that candidate, but they have come around and now they see things a bit clearer, maybe even agree with you on some things, I don't see why chastising them for what they did in the past gets you anywhere. I don't see how it does. Look, people voted for Trump for a couple reasons. One being, I believe Kamala Harris was a bad candidate. Two being, and this is something I totally understand why people voted for President Trump, even African Americans, I understand why they voted for President Trump, is because he promised a lot of awesome shit. As you're pointing out that he didn't cash in or did not deliver. But he did portray America as being a country on the path to greatness. All you had to do was elect him. And it was going to happen fast. It was going to happen almost within a few months of him getting elected. The price of everything was going to go down. Your bank account was going to go up. Your rent was going to go down. He almost sounded like Mom Donnie, who they're now criticizing. He was going to do a whole lot for you in a very, very short period of time. And he was going to end all of these wars going on.
Yeah, and remember, Trump was like, this might have been more a la 2016, but like even back then he was saying like, you're going to win so much, you're going to be tired of winning.
He did say that.
Remember that? Yeah, exactly. And again, until someone shows you a track record, what do you have to go off of? Well, what they tell you.
Yeah. And his track record from his first term was decent. Other than the pandemic, he had a fairly decent record from his first term. So I understand it. Like I said, even though I didn't vote for him, I totally understand if you believe that stuff. And I'll tell you, even when we were doing lives during the campaign, I was saying then I didn't believe he could do all the stuff he was promising. But people did. People actually did. And Kamala Harris wasn't promising anywhere near as much good shit as Trump was. So I understand why they voted for him.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to vote for Kamala anyway because, let's be honest, she had a lot of ideas that if she kept her promise on it, I would have been unhappy. She literally was one of the first candidates ever to do a press conference outside of an abortion clinic. You're not going to convince any pro-lifers, unless they're like liars, you're not going to convince them to vote for the pro-abortion candidates.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. I mean, there are a lot of single issue voters, and I mean, like Hanson Conservative is a friend of the program. We talk all the time, and he being, the protecting the life of the unborn is a huge issue for him. Some issues are just deal breakers. You fuck with the Second Amendment, that's enough to run people away. You start talking about being pro-choice, that's enough for some folks. Just like on the left side of the aisle, anti-LGBTQ. Or you start talking racial shit, and Trump is getting close to stepping in a lot of that stuff. I mean, that's a deal breaker for people on the left.
Yeah, and again, my point here is this. At some point, if someone says I'm wrong, why would you punish someone for taking accountability?
Yeah, you can listen. You're not going to vote. You don't lean left, period. So you're not going to be an ally to the left no matter what. However, if you don't vote for Trump because you're disgruntled with Trump, you're not an ally to the left, but you're more neutral than somebody because if you're voting for Trump, you're probably going to be considered an enemy of the left. So I don't see any benefit to the left by constantly chastising you for a vote you may have given in the past. I just think that if this guy's woke up, maybe he'll sit out the election. Maybe he'll vote for an independent that has no chance of winning anyhow. Either one of those are beneficial to you on the left. Just let the guy be who he is, as opposed to pissing him off and maybe just having him vote for Trump again just because he hates you.
Yeah, so I make no apology about voting for Trump. I do regret my vote, but I don't feel like I owe anyone an apology for that. Like, we got 4 more years of this guy. Hopefully he's gone. Hopefully we get real
two more years. Don't overdo it.
You know what? Sorry. I keep forgetting. I just think about how long the term is. I just keep thinking about how long the term is. 4 years, but 2 years. Hey, that's even better. 2 more years, he's gone. We can maybe get a real conservative or at least a principled Democrat. Somebody who is at least principled. In there, and I think that would be a good thing.
I think you're going to have a hard time, Jeremy, getting a principled conservative in there as long as a large portion of your party is still MAGA. MAGA's going to go with Trump or whoever Trump ordains as the next guy. They don't give a shit about principled conservatives. They only care about the MAGA movement. So Trump, I said before, I believe Trump could get a few million votes for a dog. If he told folks to vote for a dog, there's gonna be a lot of people that will vote for the dog if he orated it right. So you got to get Trump out of the way before you get that conservative.
Yeah, but I think the majority of his power is from people who want him to continue to be in power as an official government official, rather than I think once he's out of office and he's not going to run for governor anymore. We know that. He's not going to run for that because that would just be way too much stress.
Yeah, but what if he gets Don? What if he puts Don Jr. or Steve Bannon or somebody? I mean, there's people out there that could carry the torch in that. I mean, because Trump, in my opinion, I think Trump was in it more for personal wealth as opposed to this far right agenda. I just think he surrounded himself with people that are far right. I don't look at Trump's past and see a very far right guy. He is far more to the right now since he's been a president than he ever was in his own life every day.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think at the end of the day, he's going to be defanged the second he gets out of office. I think the big thing people wanted is they wanted the Don, the big Donald Trump in office where he belongs. Make the escalator gold. I don't care what anyone says. And quite frankly, Tim, I don't know why you're making this show so negative about me because I'm so great.
Speaking of him being great, I want to play a clip for you since you got here not long ago. I want you to hear this, and this is Trump discussing himself and all of his, as you say, greatness. Check this one out.
You know who the number one person in TikTok is by far? Trump, me. I just got I'm number one. Like Taylor Swift was number 11. I'm number one in TikTok by far. And the numbers just came out, and I said, well, I'm hearing about how they influence. They're talking about their tremendous danger because they influence, but if they influence so badly, I mean, I'm saying all things like I love our country. We got to stop communism. We got to this and that. We're going to do a lot. We're doing a lot of things, but I'm by far number one. It was sent to me by, the list comes out. Number one, number two. I was number one by a lot. So I guess maybe, I don't know. Maybe they're bad. Maybe they're not.
Number one on TikTok. What say you?
On TikTok, maybe, I don't know, maybe he's the most trending topic because he does such ridiculous shit. Like, like it's.
I believe him. I see in the comments, Arnita in the comments has said he's not number one. I believe he is number one because you don't normally have anybody that is well known that has probably an equal amount of people loving them dearly and despising them to hell and back. I mean, just about everybody got an opinion on Trump. So I don't talk about Taylor Swift online. I don't say nothing positive or negative about her. The people who talk about Taylor Swift, who he's bragging about he's better than, it's all positive. There's not a lot of detractors of Taylor Swift. Trump has millions of lovers, millions of haters. So I believe he is bigger than her on TikTok.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like, let's say I come into your bar and I want everyone to be talking about me. If I stand on top of the bar, pull my pants down, and take a shit on the bartender, I guarantee you it will work. It just doesn't mean you do it.
Yeah, I said that at the beginning of the program, that they talk about the devil more than Moses in most churches, but that doesn't mean it's a flex. I mean, yeah, they talk about Hitler more than they do Mother Teresa. That don't mean it's a good thing. So they talk about you more than they talk about Taylor Swift, but it's probably because you have a lot of people that does not like you. So, I believe he's number one. I got to move it on, Jeremy, but I do believe he's number one.
Do you mind if I tell you one more thing? It's about a different topic, but I just want you to look something up on your own time. Okay, on your own time, because it's relevant to like what we've been talking about for the last week. Look up the Democratic Socialists of America, and look up some of the Zoom calls that they've had, because that's what Mamdani came out of. Mamdani was a part of the Democratic Socialists of America, and in a lot of their Zoom calls, the people in the Zoom call who are a part of the DSA will literally say, we are trained Marxists and communists.
Hey, here's the problem I have with this, though. You don't think a lot of these white supremacists and these hate groups are also getting access to Stephen Miller and all that? You don't think that's happening on the right as well? I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, yeah, there's going to be people in the Democrat Party at high levels of the Democrat Party that are favorable to socialism. I mean, you've seen what Bernie Sanders is doing. But I'm saying that right-wing hate level shit that's permeated throughout the right as well. I mean, so it can't. Go ahead.
I'm not saying that isn't a problem, but what I'm saying is this: see, the Democratic Socialists of America aren't. They're like a faction of the Democratic Party, but they're not the main Democratic Party.
Right.
In fact, the main Democratic Party is trying to push them out, which I hope they do, because even though I'm never going to vote Democrat, I don't want a Democrat to win. For them to be, I will have so much more patience for a Democrat, a classic Democrat who believes in capitalism and believes in.
But you're not going to vote for the guy. It doesn't matter how much the left-wing politician favors capitalism. You're still not going to vote for him, though.
I'll if it's between him and a communist, I'll vote for the Democrat all day. But like the DSA needs to be looked at, and the Democrats as a party need to push them out.
Here's I think where more of the solution is. You often hear, the Democrats always say orange man bad. Like the Democrats can't just run on hating Trump. They also gotta show us what they're willing to do. The Republicans, and particularly Trump, you can't just run on socialism bad. People are floundering under capitalism. Homelessness is growing. The job salaries and shit is in the tank. You can't just keep saying socialism is bad. You're not making capitalism look good, which is why people are starting to investigate other avenues. Just going around yelling they're communists, they're bad, they're socialists, they're bad. That does nothing about the homelessness problem in America. That does nothing about all of the healthcare issues. Trump is not offering any solutions for real world capitalist problems. That's what's happening.
Yeah, Yeah, you can't just offer the carrot. You can't just offer the stick. You also got to offer the carrot.
Right.
I completely agree with you. Before I go, I will say, Tim, that there are capitalist solutions to a lot of economic issues. But yeah, being conservative, I think we need to stop worshiping capitalism. We just should see it as a tool rather than a god.
I don't disagree with that.
Great talking to you, Tim.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Jeremy. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 50,000. Help your boy out with the hat, mustache, TikTok, cap goals. If you're currently watching us on Instagram, Substack, TikTok, or Clapper, follow the program. Do your boy a solid. Follow the program. We're here most weekdays. If you're watching us on YouTube, give your guy a sub. I do want to get into this as well. This photo that's been all over the news outlets. This was, I believe the name of this group was called Patriot Front. And they held a protest in D.C. on our 250th birthday. Here's what I want to point out for folks who've been talking about you need to get over what happened in the past, get over history. We're living in a post-racial America. They did this shit on our 250th birthday. So to some degree, they've shown us we have not completely progressed as far as people might suggest. They came out on the 250th birthday of this great nation in mask and, completely covered up, a bunch of white dudes. It's not the Klan, but the method of operation is very similar. They're not showing their faces, and they're protesting and preaching similar shit, up to and including waving the Confederate flag, which is also a staple of the Klan. So, they don't have to actually go around calling themselves that to have so much in common. It's kind of the same thing. On the 250th birthday of this country. So for folks who often suggest you need to get over that stuff that happened a long time ago in the past and we're not doing that anymore, my response is go talk to these people. Here's something I also want to ask before we get on with the next caller, and tap the screen, get us up to 50,000. Help your guy with the hat, mustache, TikTok, cap goals. Not really any love today, but I'm going to ask anyway. But one of the things I want to ask you folks is, remember Colin Kaepernick, the former 49er quarterback from the San Francisco 49ers, used to take a knee during the anthem, and folks would tell you how disrespectful that was to the Stars and Stripes, to the military, just disrespectful. We didn't come to a football game to have politics. You hear the same thing, these kids taking a knee during the anthem and Pledge of Allegiance in schools and things like that. Same thing is disrespectful to the military, disrespectful to the flag. Simple question. Why the hell, when these hate groups walk down the street preaching hate while waving the American flag, no one yells out that what they're doing is disrespectful to Old Glory? It never happens. It didn't happen in Charlottesville. It didn't happen at Dylan Roof when he went in there, took out 9 people. He had the flag on him. The Klan always waves the American flag. They could see it in Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. They don't want to watch football because it's getting political, which also would lead me to suggest, why the hell would anybody attend the 250th anniversary of America when the president clearly made that political? I just want you folks to see the hypocrisy. I don't watch football because they're doing politics. That was the reference to Colin Kaepernick. Trump is turning all of the national events political. The same folks are quiet. They're quiet. Why is that? The nation's 250th anniversary, he's giving speeches in front of Mount Rushmore, and he is bashing the fuck out of Democrats. 100% political. Not one word from the right about why are you turning major national events political. Not one word. It was totally fine. But it was bad when Colin Kaepernick did it. I'm going to certainly be looking forward to having some of my beloved MAGA come up here and explain that, because I'm clueless. I'm clueless how does that work. Tap the screen, get the likes up to 50,000. In the comments, because they weren't burning down police stations, flipping over the cars. So what are you saying, Joe Jack? You got to burn down a police station and flip over a car before you disrespect the flag? Show me what flag code says about burning down. That's you got to go all the way to that level, huh? By the way, Colin Kaepernick never burned down anything or flipped over anything. So your statement doesn't hold any weight whatsoever. Why did you not ask your last caller about this picture? That's a good question. I didn't get around to it. In the comments, it didn't matter who the president was. We're still going to have the 4th of July, and it would have been our 250 if we would have celebrated. That ain't what we're asking. I agree with you. No matter what president we had, we would have celebrated the country's 250th anniversary. We're talking about him politicizing it. We're talking about him getting on television and calling Democrats communists and shit in the middle of a speech about our celebrating this great nation's 250th birthday. That wouldn't have happened with any president. I don't buy that. I don't believe that would have happened. I don't think Chris Christie, who ran for president, would have done it. What was it like? I don't think Nikki Haley, who ran for president, would have done it. I'm not even sure. What is it? The former governor of North Dakota, whatever his name is, he's part of the Trump administration. That guy wouldn't have done that. There's a whole bunch of folks on the right that would not have done that on the country's 250th birthday. In the comments, he is an idiot big time, says Rudy. I'm just simply saying I don't understand why the right is suddenly silent on being political once Trump is doing it, because you 250th birthday and you're doing that. We'll go to Miss Mobetta. Tap the screen, get the lights on up if you will. Miss Mobetta, good evening. Welcome to the program. Hey, can you hear me? You're kind of low sound like.
Am I low? Can you
Yeah, you're much better now. You're much better now. So, what does this photo say to you?
It puts you in a headspace to where you're like, damn. Like, to have, first of all, why are they covering their faces? If y'all standing up for something that's not illegal, that's not derogatory or anything like that, why do you have your face covered? Now, I thank God nothing happened, and to the girl or whoever with all of them doing that, or nobody provoked anybody to do anything. Thank God that didn't happen.
What would you have done if you were sitting there and all of them folks came on that train?
Me personally, I'm probably like, what the fuck? I said, what the fuck is going on here? Because you know what? Those are your teachers. Those are law enforcement. Those are the people that sit in these high positions and shit that cover their face out and go and walk the streets yelling, oh, we're gonna take our country back. Take the country back from who? Who has it?
The illegals.
You know who hijacked the country is the man that they honor, the man that they idolize.
Well, when you say that these people are your everyday cop and fire person and school teacher, in the comments, Alter Ego is answering your question about why they're wearing masks. He states it's because they want to keep their jobs. So in other words, if they reveal their faces, the Democrats are going to invoke cancel culture on these people. So they can't.
Well, no, because if they're going out there, people protest all the time peacefully and stuff like that. If they weren't doing and saying fucked up shit, they would not have to cover their faces.
I don't know.
The same thing that the Triple K has done.
I don't know. Did they say anything fucked up though? They protested. They had slogans. Did they really? I mean, every time we want liberty, say you want to take your country back. That's a popular campaign slogan. I don't think that's fucked up.
So then, why cover your face if none of this stuff is illegal?
Because you don't want the liberals trying to write to your job.
They do that to intimidate.
Yeah.
To intimidate and try to invoke, so they can point the finger at somebody else and say, "Oh, see how they act." Then the first thing they would say, "Oh, well, you see that comment that happened? Oh, they're not burning down police stations and stuff like that." No, they do it in other ways.
Yeah, and I would add that the overwhelming, with emphasis on overwhelming majority of BLM and African American protesters don't burn shit down either. That just doesn't happen. I mean, you don't want all white protesters to be judged based on what happened in Charlotte or January 6th, but they're doing that with BLM. Most BLM protests does not involve any of that shit.
And it doesn't. They'll take one instance and highlight it. But then when the roles are returned, then they want to demonize. No, call your own people out. Do it to your own people, because why was that even necessary?
Yeah. Well, like I said, the only argument I can give in their favor is they don't want the Democrats trying to look into their history and get them fired or whatever. But from what I can tell, they didn't really say anything that was out of pocket, which is why you're seeing this photo. But you're not hearing like Jews will not replace us type shit. They didn't do that. This group didn't, at least not this day.
Well, again, we only see bits and pieces of things that has happened, but there were no reports that anything crazy has happened as far as they go. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing really crazy that happened. But again, stop going in these streets trying to invoke and intimidate people. That's why that guy Chud is in prison now, because of shit like that. You going around because they again for some reason Dump gave them this battery. You know what I'm saying?
But you don't want to outlaw this, do you? I mean, I get the intimidation factor of a bunch of men wearing masks and shit like that, but this is 100% legal. You don't want this outlawed, do you?
As long as they get out there and mind their business, don't create a fuck around and find out moment. You do what you do. You just do it over there. You understand what I'm saying? Like, listen, we're gonna mind our business, just like she was sitting there mind our business. I got somewhere to go. She didn't say nothing to him or whatever.
Well, she would have died, Miss Mobetta. She ain't gonna take on a whole train full of motherfuckers.
And I'm here to tell you, the country would not have been ready for the repercussions of that. So listen. You can
it depends on who you ask.
Until they cover your head, it wouldn't have been ready.
Well, what I'm saying is it depends on who you ask. There are people, as President Trump would say, on both sides. There are people on both sides that want civil unrest in this country. They ready for it on both sides.
He don't know shit about both sides. Unless you talk about rich or poor. That's the only two sides he know. He don't give a fuck about humanity. He doesn't give a fuck about people starving. He doesn't give a fuck about people having insurance. He doesn't give a fuck about none of that. As long as his money can grow, and he's the party.
Miss Mobetta, he doesn't care. If this country breaks out into a full civil unrest or whatever, Trump would just leave and go hide out somewhere. He's got enough money to last multiple lifetimes. He don't have to come back. I'm sure they'll give him a place to stay in Argentina, Israel, probably even Russia.
I'm sure of that. I am sure of that. However,
so he would just leave. I mean, if him and his family would get you. It kind of reminds me, what was it, the movie Independence Day with Will Smith, where they just got on the plane and got the hell up out of there. I mean,
that's why he does what he do, and then he leaves the people that's sucking his orange balls out to dry. How many people that under him from his first term that either went to prison, lost their license to practice, they quit. He left with a whole negative record.
Well, my guess is it'll be stronger this time because he went considerably further to the right this second go round. And this second go round, unlike his first go round, didn't come with a good economy or really anything. I mean, this second go round didn't come with all that. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate that.
But see, the thing is, I don't hear none of them talking about the shit they talked about Nancy Pelosi becoming so rich and stuff. He tripled the amount of money that Nancy Pelosi has made under her position. You don't hear them talking about that
because they think he deserves it. I watched the Bill O'Reilly video earlier today where O'Reilly was talking about Trump's wealth and things like that. Now he's a longtime friend of Trump, so he's not going to criticize Trump. But he was saying that, look, if you don't like this, they got to pass laws. I mean, Trump didn't break any laws, but the problem is in his comment section, it was loaded with Trump supporters, like all the stuff he did for this country. He deserves it. He didn't take a salary. Everybody else is businessmen. What did you expect a businessman to do? He has a right to invest. I mean, they were 100% behind him earning this money.
Those are the 100% hypocrites. They are full of fucking shit. And I tell Bill O'Reilly and whoever else support him to their fucking face. Y'all a bunch of liars. You're stupid. You're slow as fuck. You believe lies that he say. And hey, if the Pied Piper can blow that whistle and get all of them rats to go to the water, please follow him.
Well,
and pizza lover, shut your basement sleeping virgin ass up. Shut up.
well, I mean, I gotta say, look, I'm no fan of. I think they said, what is the presidential salary? $500,000. I think they said Trump earned like 6,000 times his salary in 1 year. By the way, that's crazy.
Taking salary, of course, but he was taking the money from somewhere else, like the Board of Peace. How much money did he give to the Board of Peace? That was our money.
Yeah.
How much? How much? And what does it actually benefit?
You know my opinion. I don't believe you can make $2.5 billion while in government office and not be corrupt. There's just no way I believe that you suddenly, unless if he was Elon Musk doing that before, Elon Musk and Bezos, they've been making a killing before becoming a politician. But when you look at if you put Trump's wealth on a graph, you can literally see when he became president. I mean, like, something's wrong here. Well, all of a sudden, you've been making money like here's your level of income. Then you become president. You see it skyrockets. I mean, it's pretty obvious when you became president.
He has been charged and convicted of felonies for fraud. What makes them think he was going to get in this position and change?
Yeah.
What? Listen, when a snake show you who they are, you have to believe it. Oh, don't say, oh, no, he's a snake, but he's a good snake. He won't bite you. He's a good snake. He's been trained well. Okay.
Well, in defense of Trump, most of the stuff he did apparently is going to be legal. I mean, up to and including the fact that he can pardon himself. So it may be a whole bunch of disgruntled liberals, but this guy may get away with all this.
Not just liberals. There's going to be some disgruntled Republicans either, because he's going to leave their ass up there to dry to try to fix this shit, like he has done. His record proves who he is as a fraud.
Well,
Come on, now. It don't take rocket science for that.
He is your president, Mr. Mobetta. Before we, I want to go into another topic with you. I want you. I don't know if you were here early, but for folks who weren't, I want you to hear this guy. It talks about the state of whether or not we're a Christian nation. I want to get your opinion on this.
People, but it has never been a Christian nation, and never will be. A Christian nation would never have killed and displaced 20 million Native Americans who are still left out and living in poverty. A Christian nation would never have thought that owning slaves was pleasing to God, or that it lined up with Scripture in any way, shape, or size. And we not only practiced it, but we were so obsessed with it that we went to war about it. We had a civil war.
Oh, Jesus.
And in that civil war, 500,000 Americans died. That's more than Americans that died in World War II or any other war we've ever had. Our own Civil War, we killed 500,000 of our own people so people could have the right to own other people.
I'm asking you, Mr. Mobetta, are we a Christian nation?
Absolutely not. Bunch of fake ass Christians, and I call it out to you all the time, because the ones that go around here calling themselves so-called Christians, they wouldn't hate anybody. They wouldn't hate them. You understand? They'd be looking for ways to help people that are less fortunate. And this country is not that. No. And you see, you got the Crooked Talk Commerce in there talk about God invented slavery. Yeah, but listen, don't just read the part where it says slavery on there. Keep reading where it says you're not supposed to treat your slaves as if they were animals.
I mean, God invented death as well. I mean, what are you getting there?
God invented people, period. Yeah. Whether good, better, and different. But however, we have free will. That was the next gift. So you have people around on this here land walking around with lost souls. The devil don't even want them.
Damn.
The devil don't even want some of these people. They're just
Oh
lost
my
souls
God.
that are walking around here doing what they feel like doing. Like I keep telling you, Tim, people are confusing audacity with authority. Because just because you have the audacity to do certain shit, it doesn't give you the authority. And this is where the fuck around and find out moments are coming in. So there's a fake ass Christians that they mad at the rainbow community because half of their asses are attracted to those people. And they don't want to be fucking exposed for being on Grindr and shit like that. Get out of here.
I can't speak on that part, but I do agree that the Christianity that I was brought up on, what I was told what Christianity was about, this level of lack of concern for human rights, lack of concern for whether your fellow man even eats or not, in a nation that is simultaneously calling itself a Christian nation, it does not make sense to me either. I don't get it.
They're gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad as all hell like that pastor for saying that. You see a straight talk in there talking now, talking about he's a liar. First of all, you spelled liar wrong.
How is
you spelled it wrong? It's Liar.
I'd be curious to know what he's lying about. Be honest with you.
What he's lying about? I want to know what he's lying about. And see, when they break that word down, Christian, it's Christ, and they do everything opposite of what Christ would do. And let's not talk about the nuclear family. We're not gonna talk. Y'all listen to Trump on the nuclear family when he cheated on all his wives.
Well, but I told you though.
What a porn star, nonetheless, with one of them. Every wife that he had, he cheated on her with the next one.
But I told you though, I believe that the evangelicals believe that Trump is sent by God. A flawed man, maybe so, but they do believe that Trump was sent by the deity to make this nation great. They're willing to overlook what he's doing. Look, I'll say it like this. Despite what Trump may do in his own personal life, if you lean right, he is doing what you believe is the right man's, R-I-G-H-T, not white man, what the right man's agenda is. I get it, but he is doing what folks on the right want. So he may himself not be, I guess, authentically conservative. But if you lean right, he is doing many of the things that you've wanted in this nation for quite a while.
Bullshit. But you want him to go around disrespecting people, calling reporters and shit out their name because they're not kissing his ass? Is that really what they want? Maybe so.
No, they're overlooking it. Look, you're going to get...
Everything he does is negative. So the dopamine... He's feeding the dopamine in people's brains, so they're not really in love with him. They're in love with his nerve. So that's what people. I'm trying to tell you what I know, Tim. They're attracted. That dopamine is attracted to the authority that he gives, the nerve that he has. It ain't really got nothing to do with him, and he knows that.
Well,
so that's why he don't care that they really don't like him. As long as he hear his name, I'm at the forefront. He knows he's a piece of shit. That's why he said, I don't believe that I'm going to heaven. Guess what? You won't be going to hell either. You're just going to be a lost soul.
I don't think Trump knows he's a piece of shit. I think he's a great. I think he believes he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I think you kind of underestimate Trump.
Either way, it's a problem, Tim, because he ain't that. Listen, when we was talking about when you was trying to still give him a lot of credit, he said, other than the pandemic, listen. When it came to the pandemic, we lost just as many people during the pandemic as we did that Civil War. That's why I was glad you played that video, because then it reminded me. That was awful. That was one of the worst things that could have happened under anybody's presidency. To lose over about 1 million people, that's saying a lot. And because his lies cost lives. When you were like, oh.
Yeah, but a lot of people we lost during the pandemic. A lot of people, yeah, but Biden was in office during the pandemic too. We didn't lose them all under Trump.
But Biden inherited that. That shit was well underway when he got here.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna do that one. So when Biden had a lot of work to do once he took office, then he leveled the playing field. When he left office, those numbers is at 2.7, wasn't it? From 9%, he was at 9%. That's high. And he brought it down to 2.7 when he left office.
Biden, I got to move it on, but I'm not disagreeing with you on Biden. I'm just going to say this. Both Biden and Kamala Harris were not good enough at patting themselves on the back. President Trump is excellent. He's excellent at selling the benefits of his presidency, even if it's not true. He's.
You know why? You know why they had a problem with that? Because it's not about them, Tim. It's about American people. And that's where his fans are failing at. It's all about him right now. I don't give a fuck what happens to this country. As long as he's rich, his cronies are rich, and he stays out of prison. He don't give a fuck what happened to anybody else.
But we're going to find out soon. We're going to find out in 4 months. I got to move it on. But go ahead. I got to move it on. I'll give you the last word. Go ahead. What you say?
I said, and he will. And listen, straight talk. First of all, we're not listening to none of that bullshit you say. You get up here, you can't prove anything. All you try to do is get up here, overtalk Tim, and try to run his show. And then as soon as somebody send a galaxy, your ass want to run. So shut up.
All right.
Go to your life with that bullshit.
Miss Mometta, it is, folks. Appreciate it. Moving on with the program, we will, since he got called out, what the hell just happened there? We will go straight to the one and only Straight Talk Commerce. Give me a few minutes with this guy, because I know he's going to probably attract a galaxy or two. Give me 8 minutes. So Straight Talk. Good evening.
You know, the difference between me and some of the other people, I have you on my live. You can speak to me as long as you want. Nobody comes up and interrupts me. No one interrupts you.
We run a different type of show.
Mo doesn't realize that she's a piece of shit. We're all pieces of shit. So I mean, I don't know.
Well, we're all socialists and fascists. Your side is doing the same, right?
No, I understand that. What I'm saying to you is, when you find someone perfect, vote for them. Vote for the person that you think is perfect. Go ahead. You'll be without a candidate.
Well, it could be lesser of two evils. I don't think anybody thought.
By the way, let me just say, I mean, you guys don't seem to be bothered when Antifa walks your streets, faces covered, leaving fires behind them. That woman got on that bus, probably realized it was the wrong connection.
I don't think she got on the bus.
If it had been me, as lily white as I am, I would have gotten the hell off that bus as soon as they got on. But no one said 2 words to that woman.
I don't know the logistics of this. I'm guessing that she was on first and they got on, and she may have been.
I agree. And the minute they got on, I would have gotten the.
Yeah, but then that means you gotta. Yeah, but that means you gotta get up and go walking amongst them. She probably might have just been frozen in fear.
Wherever I needed to go, there is no reason to be on that bus with those people. None. 0.
Well, she might have been frozen in fear. I get your point, but she may have been frozen. I mean, so
bad, wrong place, wrong time.
How do you take this happening on America's 250th birthday?
I mean, listen to me. That is a canary in the coal mine. That tells you have freedom of speech in your country. When you see people saying things that you don't agree with, rejoice.
I don't disagree with that, but I agree with you. It shows we have freedom of speech, but does it not also show we got a hell of a lot of racism still existing?
I don't know. I mean, did that surprise you in any way?
That's what we're told.
I think that there are pockets of people. That are very tribal, that only want to see their reflection around them.
I'm often told you guys need to get over that stuff that happened in the past, and then boom, here these folks doing it on doing it on the nation's capital on our 250th birthday. This is what people are being told. You need to get over that stuff. It happened a long time ago, and then boom, these people show up.
I've told you for a long time. You need those people that are acting like that think like that, to be as loud and as vocal as they possibly can be. Keeps you safe, keeps your family safe. You say whatever the fuck you want 100 yards away from me. Be loud. Let me know that that's not where I need to be going. And Khalil, you're right. She has no reason to get off that bus, except there's a bunch of at least 50 absolute morons on that bus with her.
I'm going to ask you the question. I think you may have heard me say this. I think you may have been in the comments when I was asking this question, but I'm going to ask, since I got you up here, Why does the folks who often talk about how wrong it is to disrespect the flag, they don't say anything about all these hate groups that fly the flag? All of these groups, including this one, fly the American flag, and you don't hear anybody saying that they're disrespecting the flag. Why is that?
I don't think, no. You're wrong. I don't think that they're disrespecting the flag. That is a great, freedom of speech is not disrespecting the flag.
So what? So Colin Kaepernick taking a knee is disrespectful to the flag, but preaching hate while waving it is not.
No, Colin Kaepernick taking a knee did not disrespect the flag.
That's what they said.
No. That's not disrespecting the flag. Is if you take the flag and tear it up, throw it in the garbage, dispose of it improperly, that's disrespect to the flag. If someone is telling you that by doing a protest, you are disrespecting the United States in some way, they're absolutely wrong.
So in other words, they were wrong about Colin Kaepernick.
If that's what they were saying.
Yeah. They said the guy was completely disrespectful.
He lost his job over it.
Yeah. Because the right was saying he was being disrespectful to the military, to the flag.
It wasn't the right. No, some.
Bullshit. Ain't nobody on the left saying that guy was being. That was all on the right.
There were, but I'm saying that you're trying to make it seem like everyone on the right is this thing. It's not true. It's not true.
That doesn't make any sense. What I'm saying is, folks on the right. Not only that, but they'll, if the LGBT community, takes them and paints the flag, the stripes, rainbow colors, and talk about how
that's disrespecting the flag.
Then what happens when you take an American flag and you cut it in half? Part of it is the Confederate flag and part of it is the American flag.
Disrespecting the flag.
They don't say nothing about that, though.
Who doesn't say
the right doesn't say anything about that.
The right, Tim, that you're wrong about that because the right is talking about that all the time.
They are?
Ignore them when you may ignore them when they say it about them, but we absolutely do. I've had this conversation before. I have it on my live all the time.
I was told the Confederate flag was just representing pride and heritage.
A Confederate flag, but not one that is half American flag, half Confederate flag. That is an abomination.
So if the flag is all about pride and heritage, is that what the hate groups are doing? They're waving it for their pride and heritage? I mean, all of the hate groups wave that flag, including this group.
Hey, guess what? Some people are not ashamed that they fought on the behalf of the Confederates.
They didn't fight on behalf of shit. They always tell us.
No.
They always tell us you are not a slave. So you're not a Confederate.
I'm not a Confederate. No, fuck no.
None of them are.
They are. Listen, they think that they are still, that the South is going to rise again and that they're not, it's not over.
What would happen if the South, what does that mean when they say the South is going to rise again? What are they talking about?
Exactly what you think it means. It means that the South is going to gather itself and it's going to rise up and try to fight for slavery again. You don't think that there are people that actually would like that to happen?
I'm trying to figure out.
You come. There's some places I would love to take you.
I don't want to go there. Here's
the point. For you to open your eyes and see. Listen, there's a lot of morons on this planet. A lot of them. And here's where you don't do yourselves any favors, okay? Not you particularly, but you don't differentiate between people who are like that and everyone else.
I'll tell you why. All of these folks, like I often say, if you burn the flag, as you mentioned, or step on the flag, I don't care if a veteran is 90 years of age, he'll get up out of the damn wheelchair and try to beat your ass for disrespecting the flag. You can wave the Confederate flag down south and preach all sorts of hate, and all of these, it's about my family's pride and heritage people. They don't do shit. They don't say shit. They let you walk down the street preaching all sorts of hate while waving that flag that allegedly represents their pride and heritage. Why is that?
Well, but I mean, listen, not every place do they let you do that now.
Have you seen anywhere on television anywhere where somebody was waving the Confederate flag preaching hatred and somebody who supports the Confederate flag that has it in their ancestry stood up and spoke out? Have you seen any of that happening?
Yes.
Where?
Huntsville, Texas.
Show me
Huntsville,
some
Texas.
clips of it. Show me some clips.
I lived in Huntsville, Texas, going to school, and there were people on both sides. We had a park, Tim, where the Triple K showed up, decided that they were going to try and get a permit to have and they wanted the newspaper that I worked at to go to that park and cover it. And to interview David Duke. I think you've heard that name before, David Duke.
The guy that Trump said he never heard of before that endorsed him.
Yeah. Well, look, a lot of people haven't.
Hey, come on now. You gonna tell me a black man that's a Gen X has heard of David Duke, but Trump, who was from the damn near silent generation, ain't never heard of this guy? You really believe that?
Yes, because I don't think people in the North.
I'm from Chicago. I've heard of him.
I get that. You're also you're also black. You probably would be smart to know who that is.
He ran for president. He ran for president. Come on now. You telling me Trump ain't, you really believe Trump ain't never heard of David Duke? David Duke, yes, he ran for president. You telling me Trump ain't never heard of that guy?
I don't know what he knows. I don't know what he doesn't know. It makes sense to me that someone from New York would not know who David Duke is. A lot of people in my office would
alter ego. Go ahead.
I'm not be able to tell you who the fuck David Duke was.
That's crazy. That's like me saying because I'm not from St. Louis, I've never heard of the Arch. I mean, David Duke ran for president in your lifetime. If you've heard of Mondale and all of these folks that ran and lost, you still heard of them. Never Trump at 80 or what was he, 70 at the time? Never heard of David Duke, and you're trying to suggest that somehow that's believable.
It definitely is believable to me. Obviously, you're taking issue with it. Let's say that he has. Let's say that he just wanted to deny that he never heard of the guy.
Let's go with that.
Okay. Now what?
That's it. Why lie? Why lie about it?
Maybe he doesn't want to acknowledge the man.
He doesn't want to acknowledge that the Klan supports him. The guy who was trying to say that the Democrat Party started the KKK. You don't want to admit that you're running as a right winger and the Klan is endorsing you.
Because how in the world would he? Hold on. How in the world would he be able to control who supports him?
Why not just say you know the guy and say exactly what you did? Yeah, I've heard of him, but I have no control over who supports me. Why not just tell the fucking truth?
Again, maybe he didn't want to give the guy any oxygen.
Well, then maybe you giving people like me oxygen to say stuff like this because you chose to lie.
I disagree with you. I just said, listen, you're free to believe whatever you want. You're not convincing me that someone from New York spent his entire life in New York, did a whole bunch of business in New York, knows about some piddling motherfucker from Mississippi, that is in the KKK.
This man hung out with Hugh Hefner in the Playboy Mansion. He did business in Russia. Talking about Trump. This guy, you make it sound like this guy lived in New York.
David Duke was never in.
No, but you're making it sound like President Trump lived in New York and never got. Trump probably has been to New Orleans and Louisiana where that guy lived there.
Are you suggesting that the president was friends or knew David Duke? What are you suggesting?
I'm not friends with.
Maybe he heard of the guy before.
Right.
He just didn't recollect it.
I don't.
Maybe he just didn't remember it.
No. Yeah, right. Look, you're giving him some outrageous amounts of credit there.
I tend to take people at their word. Do you have a picture with President Trump and David Duke?
No.
Would you like to show me that picture?
No.
I mean, what are we? Hey, by the way, what do you think about Trump intervening and talking to FIFA about?
I think it makes America look corrupt. If we win that, if we were to win that game, if we end up being victorious in the World Cup, it's gonna make it look like we're corrupt. I mean, why would you interfere with what you?
I don't think that it was corrupt. Them calling that foul.
But that happens. Straight talk.
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
Can I finish my thought.
You're going down the road. Go ahead. Finish it though. Okay.
Because I watched that. And I have gone to my daughter played soccer. I had to go take, referee classes and all that shit. It was the worst day of my goddamn life. I'm no expert, but in no way was that foul. And this is not me. This is every single commentator saying this is not a red card foul. This is not a foul that you're taking someone out of the game. So in other words, what I'm saying is you may be right in that people may view it that way, but
No.
other people viewed it as their way of removing the U.S. from contention.
Okay. My point is, I'm not disagreeing with you that it may have not been a foul. I don't know enough about the game. I didn't actually see the foul in progress. But my
Right.
point is this. You come across, or better yet, Trump comes across as some type of elite parent that does not like a call his kid received at a Little League game. So now he's on the phone with the owner of the league trying to get the call overturned. This ain't your
No,
place.
it's not what he did. He asked them
It
to
is.
review it. He said, would you take a look at this and tell me? Because that was not
What's the
a
difference?
foul.
Come on now, straight talk. You know, if he's calling you and telling
Let
you,
me ask you
Oh,
this.
well, no,
If
let
he
me
did-
finish. Now, let me finish my point.
Okay.
If he's calling you and telling you to review this shit, he might as well be saying, "I want you to overturn it." You know what he
All right,
wants.
listen,
You know
I
why
don't
he's on the
disagree
phone
with
with you.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I do think that some people would take a look at it that way. Now, let's say he didn't make that call.
Okay.
Let's say that he just went ahead and let that happen.
Right.
And don't you think that there would be people that would be very angry with the president for not
No.
intervening and not speaking up for this team?
No, because if the president came out and stated, "I didn't like what they did. I believe FIFA may be corrupt, but it's not my place. And even if I did what you guys are suggesting, we're gonna have an asterisk by our name from now on. So I just look, I left the corruption for you to see." No, I don't think people would have been mad at him at all. First of all, MAGA ain't gonna get mad at Trump no matter what, and the liberals are already mad at him. So I don't think it would have hurt him at all.
No, I think you're wrong about that. I would have been angry if he had the ability to, because this happens to the United States a lot, not just in soccer, in a lot of sports, a lot of gymnastics, a lot of things that get judged. The United States gets a short end of the stick
Your anger
when
comes
it
with no
comes
price.
to judging.
Yeah, but your anger,
You don't think?
your anger comes with no price. In other words, you would be angry with Trump. You still think he's a great president. You would still vote for him 3, 4, 5
Sure.
times. So it comes. So you're angry with him. So what? It comes with no price. If I'm
Yeah,
Trump, I don't
fair.
mind straight talk being mad at me, and the liberals are already pissed off of me. So
Right. I'm not
there's
gonna
nothing
make
to
you pay
win.
for it. You're right. No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm
So
glad that he did it. I will say that. I'm glad that he did it. I do think it's high time that they got called out for their bad officiating. I wish that they would do the same thing in the WNBA.
yeah, now he's going to make it look like though that look, Trump has already done a lot of other shit that people are starting to say that America is beginning to look more and more corrupt. But now when you're interfering with the World Cup, to me it looks terrible. I get the notion that the call didn't look right. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I just do not believe it's the president's place to call and say some shit. What is he? The most powerful man in the world calls you and says, "I think you need to relook at that again." You know what the fuck he's asking you. That's like a mob boss.
I don't disagree with
That's
that.
like a mob boss.
By the way,
No,
that's
wait a
what
minute.
we
That is like a
elected
mob
for.
boss. That's like a mob boss telling his lieutenant, "You know, the family would make a lot more money if my ex-wife would just get out the way." You know what he's asking you to do? I mean, that's what Trump did. He pretty much.
I don't disagree with
Yeah,
you,
he
Tim.
bullied the guy.
I think that we elected him, at least I did, to do that kind of thing, to represent and to defend the United States of America. He's doing a great job at it. I think that whether it's trade, whether it's tariffs, whether it's with Iran, the situation going on with Iran, I hired him to look after the interests of the United States of America.
You think this-
I did not realize that he was going to go into the minutia the way that he is, but he's very effective.
You think right now with Iran, for instance, you mentioned Iran. You think that's being handled well?
Yeah, I think it's been handled great. Iran still exists. If it had been me, Iran would not exist right now.
So
If I had been elected, he has shown more restraint by a damn sight than I would have. I would have gone in completely different direction when it came to Iran.
so what are you giving him credit
His
for?
diplomacy is on another level.
What diplomacy? Do what I want or I'll kill you? That's diplomacy?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to basically say to them, listen, it is in our interest that you not have a nuclear weapon. You will never have a nuclear weapon. And if you continue down this path, I will see whatever I have to do that you don't get a nuclear weapon. Now, you need to come to grips with that or really escalating bad things are going to happen to you. I would have already lost my diplomacy patience.
Okay, maybe that's you, but I don't see how you could look at the current debacle, in my opinion, that's known as the Iran war, and say that this is going well.
How is it a debacle? What are you suffering? I mean, how are we suffering from what's going on over there?
The price of goods and services. Gas prices were fairly affordable until he did that shit. We're paying.
Not true. Number one, it is way more affordable for us than it is anywhere else on the planet.
That's always been the case. Even under Biden's administration, gas is more affordable. That is not the benchmark.
Nothing changed. That's what I asked you.
No.
Tell me something that's changed. Nothing has changed.
The price of fuel.
Do this with no power.
It has changed. It has changed.
For us.
The price of fuel since Trump attacked Iran has went up. It has changed.
No, Tim. How much fuel do you think we get from Iran? How much are we getting from Iran?
I didn't say nothing about where it comes from. What I'm saying is simple. The price you pay at the pump for a gallon of gas has went up since Trump attacked Iran. Is that not true?
No, not because you're saying that there's correlation.
I don't care why it happened, straight talk. Since the day when Trump attacked,
why are you discussing it?
Because that's what's happening.
There are other reasons that fuel prices went up.
So you're saying Trump attacking Iran had absolutely nothing to do with rising fuel prices?
Zero, because that's not where we get fuel.
Then why is he saying once the
oil companies have seen a opportunity to charge the world, not just us, the world, more for fuel.
Then why is Trump saying once the strait is open, prices are going to drop like a rocket? If that ain't got nothing to do with it, why is he saying that?
There will be a glut. There will be an oil glut. It will be so plentiful, and it will be moved around so quickly and so efficiently that the oil companies will have a very hard time keeping gas prices inflated.
So if the strait is closed, gas prices are high. If it opens, it goes down for the reasons you're giving. And Iran is the one closing and opening the strait. How is what you're saying doesn't make sense?
Iran is not closing the strait. We're closing the strait. The strait we're starving those people and that government out of business.
So Iran has never closed the strait.
They have no ability to open the strait if we want it closed. If we want the Strait of Hormuz closed, you believe they couldn't get a grease meeting out of that strait.
That strait is only 21 miles wide at its
right, and we have it on lockdown.
No, you do not have it on lockdown. Now
not right now, but we damn sure did.
You got a civilized guest that's coming through. You've been there for a while. He wants to talk to you, but
listen, it's about my time.
Getting there, Sherbert.
I'm not going to be too mean to you, I swear. But you just said something a little crazy, and I had to come up and talk to you about it. So you're saying that the strait being closed isn't the reason why gas prices are up?
That's right.
And just because we don't buy...
Sherbert, are you saying that gas prices are high in the United States? The gas prices are high in the United States because the Strait of Hormuz is closed. Please defend that.
Because oil is traded on the world market. So once 25% of the world's market was no longer available, the price went up for us as well. It's what a contract is. Maybe you've heard of it.
I think, no, we get less than 2% of our oil from Iran.
That doesn't matter.
It does matter.
There's a tariff on the sale of all fuel sold across the world. We can't just say, no, we're going to sell at a different price.
We absolutely can do that, and we can't. That. Yes, we can.
We literally can't.
Okay.
That's why in 2021,
I will talk to you later.
Prices went up.
Finish with him. This is going nowhere.
You don't know basic.
All right, Dooms, I'll go ahead. I'll continue with straight talk. With Sherbert. Dooms,
later, buddy.
Appreciate it. In the comments, real quick, hang on a second, Sherbert. We the Rabble says it doesn't matter where you get oil from. It's a global market, which is exactly what you're saying, Sherbert. He says rising costs around the globe affects us. Only Gulf countries subsidize the oil. Look, you can like Trump. for whatever reason you like him for. Maybe it's a legitimate reason, but yeah, I gotta agree with both of you gentlemen that if Iran fucks with oil for a few countries, it's going to affect the price of oil with all countries. I don't know where he was getting that from, but he tends to believe that. Say that again.
That's like saying, hey, we can fuck with Volvo, but that shouldn't fuck with any other truck lines, even though a lot of parts are made from Volvo.
Right. I think
Like,
even
are you
Trump.
stupid?
I think even Trump has admitted some of the things he's denying. I think Trump has admitted that Iran closed the strait because he's saying Iran can't close the strait. I believe the Trump.
Okay.
Yeah, the Trump administration
But
has
if
said
Straight
that.
Talk,
Huh?
if Straight Talk can't acknowledge that it's sold on the world market, how can you trust a single fucking word from that guy? It's very easy to find that out. I don't do a ton of research, but I looked that one up. It was super easy.
I have not heard of any political analyst saying that Iran's dealings over there has nothing to do with our prices. He's the first person I've ever heard say that. And I'm talking to even the Charles Paynes and those folks on Fox. Even they admit, that what's going on with the Iran war is having an effect on our oil prices. He's the first person I've ever heard say that what's going on in Iran has nothing to do with the prices here. But it makes more sense when he says that for why he supports Trump. Because that gives Trump wide latitude to do a whole bunch of shit that could have a negative effect here and not be blamed for it. Because he don't think any of that stuff is on Trump.
Yes, but that makes a lot more sense for MAGA Reacts to say some stupid ass shit like that. Because he doesn't know any better. That's fine. I don't enjoy MAGA Reacts, but he's doing the best he can. And he believes what he says.
Well,
Straight Talk says so often that he is a genius, and nobody else knows as much as I do, and I have the truth. And he doesn't know the basic fact that oil is sold on the global market.
Well, understand, Straight Talk has his own platform where he offers business and investing advice. So,
Did he graduate from the Trump's University?
I don't know, but he offers business advice.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's got that photo with the cardboard cutout of Trump, and that's why he loves him so much.
Well, he has said Trump's face should don all 4 images of Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, because even one isn't good enough, which it's not. It's too good for him.
Listen.
Are you that crazy? Is your Trump derangement syndrome just that far off that not only just one face, not adding a 5th face to it, remake all 4, fuck you, fuck history.
Well, Gulf of America, you name it. Listen, I'll just say this. I'm going to personally plead ignorance on it. Look, I understand why people voted for Trump, but why we're halfway through his second term and people are suggesting that he's the greatest president we've ever had, that makes no sense to me. I do not, and that's not out of hatred for Trump. I don't see what the accomplishments are that are so significant, so great, that will have such a legacy that people are saying he's the best president we've ever had. There's a lot of folks on the right that claim Trump is the best we've ever had. I don't know where that's coming from.
Apparently, there's 74 other people that he's even better at. And according to his medical history, he's even healthier than all of them.
Yeah. Well, Trump said he's healthier than, didn't he say he was healthier than Obama or something like that?
I'm sure he did, but at least I saw Biden on a bike. At least we saw Obama play basketball. Well, at least I heard he played basketball.
Well, I give Trump credit. He can go and talk to the public for 2-3 hours straight. I mean, he is able to go out there and put in the work as far as holding conferences. I mean, when he holds a press conference or whatever, he can stand there for a long time.
Yes, but man, you're treating volume as in it matters.
Well, I think it would have mattered.
Let me finish this one.
Go ahead.
He doesn't actually say anything that couldn't be recapped in about 2 minutes if you actually said the true actual facts of any policy that he says or what he wants to do. He just goes and talks about himself. Even when he goes and represents other people and they're saying, hey, we need to get this guy into Georgia Senate. We can't have Raphael Warnock. Do not announce your presidency or running for presidency. And he couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
He had to talk about himself.
He likes
And
to
that's all
steal
he's
the
got.
spotlight.
So you talk for 3 hours about horse shit. All I've heard is about horse shit.
He likes to steal the spotlight. Now, speaking of him going in and announcing his presidency with Warnock, like you mentioned, him with the 250th anniversary. And I should ask this to Straight Talk because a lot of folks talked about Colin Kaepernick taking a knee and how they didn't like an athlete politicizing a football game. I came here to watch a football game. I didn't come here for politics. He took the 250th anniversary and the speech at Mount Rushmore. He's politicizing every event, even our nation's birthday. And it sounds like the right really likes this stuff.
Yeah, but this is also what we've been saying about them being the biggest snowflakes. In the best example I can come up with the top of my head is the teaching the Bible in Texas. And if it was in California that you had to read the Quran, they would lose their fucking minds. And it's always, rules are for thee, not for me. And I want to punch these. I got kicked off before. I would like to not be around any of these assholes that can't see past their own nose and that don't even know about how the oil system works, and with such vitriol say, no, we don't have to sell at the same price as the rest of the world. No, we don't have to buy from everyone.
Considering me and Straight Talk have talked quite a bit. I'm really surprised that he believes that though. That because I don't, like I said, even though I'm pretty certain with him being MAGA, he listens probably primarily to right-wing media and things like that. But even in right-wing media outlets, I don't think they're saying that Iran has nothing to do with oil prices. So I'm kind of curious as to where he's getting that from. Because what do you watch for news? Nobody's saying that. Nobody on the Trump administration, nobody is claiming that what Iran is doing has no effect on our oil prices. So I'd be curious to know where he's getting that from.
Probably Rumble.
What, just a citizen on Rumble?
Yeah, I mean, maybe a news channel on Rumble. I mean, Chris Cuomo has a show on that. Well, actually, no, he's got Newsmax, right?
I'm watching Chris Cuomo right now. Chris Cuomo does not like Trump, so he ain't gonna say that. He don't like Trump
you know
at
what
all.
I mean? Rumble is a MAGA space, the same way True Social is. It is not a liberal bastion in Rumble.
Truth Social, X, Truth Social, X, and X, Truth Social, and Rumble. Yeah, they all lean right, but like I said, even most right-wing outlets are admitting that Iran's Strait of Hormuz antics are hurting our oil prices. I mean, they're admitting that. So I don't know where he's getting that from.
I didn't even come on I really wasn't even planning on coming on. I gave up. And then he said some stupid shit like that. And I just couldn't help. I had to spend my own money. I don't want to spend that money. I'm a little broke right now.
I appreciate it.
So dumb.
I appreciate it in this economy because my hat mustache goes and TikTok cap goes are shit tonight. So I do appreciate it. You probably are my only supporter tonight. I'll go ahead and move it on, but thank you very much for coming through though. And
can I say one more thing?
Sure, go ahead.
For all of the MAGA, and I know there's not that much left, but please look up alternate sources, not just Newsmax, not just QAnon, and actually come at it with a point of multiple opinions, not just Trump is God. And I think everything will work out a lot better if everyone does that.
Good luck on that with Trump saying those news sources are fake, but I do agree with you certainly on that, which is something I do. Sherbert, thanks for coming through.
Have a great night.
Appreciate it. Blue One Banks with the Galaxy shirt 14 and Smokey. Thank you very much, all of you folks. Hey, appreciate that. I wasn't expecting that. In the comments, if it was freedom of religion, where were all the mosques? What the hell, Rico? My guy got shit faced. If it was freedom of religion, where were all the mosques? Where were all the Muslims? Where were all the Hindus? They're not for freedom of religion. Now, I get your point in pointing out the hypocrisy. Blue One Banks, holla at your boy. Thank you very much. No, listen. Before the right started talking about putting Christianity in schools and things like that, they were really heavily critical of the notion that Muslims were trying to impose Sharia law. They were really heavily critical of what the Muslim religion was. Now that they're doing it, they certainly seem to be okay with it. P-Dub, yeah! Thank you for the hat mustache. Appreciate that. So, yeah, I believe in separation of church and state. And all of this bullshit about we're a Christian nation or it's part of history to teach the Bible, it's just a ruse to get what you want done. Because the Quran has some history behind it, and a host of other religions that have been in this country have history behind it. But you only care about history when it's your religion. Gangsta grandma. So I do disagree with that. I think we should leave religion out of schools because what it's going to end up doing is making the children battle with each other. It's going to make the children more judgmental with each other. Because if I'm a Jehovah Witness or a fucking, Muslim or whatever, you're going to have the other students saying, see, my religion is the real one. Yours is not. You don't see we got the 10 commandments behind the teacher on the wall. We're reading out the Bible. Ain't nobody reading out of your books. Ain't none of your stuff on the wall. The whole state has our stuff on the wall. That should show you that our religion is a true religion and yours is not. So there's no way I'm going to agree with putting religion in schools. When you think about when we went to school back in the day, they made jokes about the clothes and shit you were wearing. Now they're going to be joking about your God. I mean, and then, of course, the parents are going to get involved in it as well. The non-Christian children are going to be telling their kids either not to read it, not to do the lessons, or you're going to have children of atheists telling the Christian children in schools this shit ain't even real. I mean, you're just creating drama where it shouldn't be. There is absolutely no need to learn that stuff to get a well-rounded education, graduate from high school, and go out in the working world. You do not need to know any of that stuff. That's done for ulterior meaning. So I absolutely do not favor that. Man, Tim, that chain is blind. Really? It is? Maybe the light is shining off of it in a certain way. I don't know. It's just a regular chain. But thank you. Look, get in the comments here real quick before we go to the next call. Like I said, I don't think religion should be in schools in any way, shape, or form. It's going to create a lot of division in schools. Religion is a divisive topic. It is, most of the wars throughout history, that's one of the main reasons people go to war. It's either over property or generally over religion. That just, it has no business in schools. It worked at the beginning of America's, when America was, in its early years, it worked because most of the country was Christian back then. You didn't have any Muslims and all. The rest of the people were pretty much silenced. It was all Christian back then. That's not the case now. Also, people are more educated now. And the more educated you get, religion, the educated crowd starts asking questions. Religion works a lot better if you don't ask questions. We are the idiots letting him steal billions, says Rudy. He's getting paid. I'm not going to argue that. And by the way, I think I saw Belgium is winning in that game 2-1. So America is currently losing. I don't know if I still have it on my screen, but I think America is currently losing that 2-1. And my television isn't showing it right now. But continuing on with the program, I'll go back to the box. I believe a separation in church and state too, but not God and state. That's not what it says. I don't really care what the way we word it. I'll just say I don't believe religion should be forced down the throats of children in public schools. You don't want CRT. You don't want LGBTQ and trans stuff, as you guys say, shoved down your children's throat. I don't think you should do religion either. Do not shove religion down the throats of children. There's church. There's you create you get private schools. Send your child to private school if you want your child to get a Christian education, but don't force it on parents that may not favor it or may not even believe in it. Why would you put that in public school? There's plenty of Christian schools to send your kid to. Legend icon, the wise man, some of the names he is known by, ladies in general. This is not a prediction. This is a spoiler. All rise for the handsome liberal. You got me feeling like I'm the anthem there, handsome conservative. Thanks for the support, by the way. But they're not going to rise this late in the game. Looking, and thank you though. Thank you, handsome conservative. In the comments, the holy rollers are the ones doing damage to the country, says Travelman. Yeah, to me, get the religion out of it. I cannot say that any stronger. Religion should not be in schools. Gangsta Grandma, good evening.
Look at that fake ass chain. Look at it.
That's what you came on here to say?
I'm so high right now. Don't fuck with me.
Do you ever get sober? You always had. Are you ever sober?
Well, okay. Sober is when you're drunk. Well, my D of choice is herbs that God gave us on this earth.
What about just being in a sober state that God gave you as well?
You wouldn't want me to do that because I really would go off on your ugly ass.
Why?
That's why we need a divorce, damn it. Because I can't fuck with you no more. You a ratty raccoon. I tell you, Tim. I be. You know what, Tim? Sometimes you get on my damn nerves. I gotta get off and roll a blunt, man, for real.
No, because you hear somebody that pushes back on you. You used to get in your way all the damn time.
But you know what? Let me tell you something with your ratty raccoon looking ass and your fake ass chain cost you $50 at Walmart. Let me break this shit down to you. You don't push back on a white T-man. As you start pushing back on a white T-man, I'll give you some fucking grace. But you always push back on me. But you never push back on these ugly, ratchet looking, no good for another trailer park ass trashes. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. First of all, we run a respectable program and we don't treat guests differently because of their skin color.
That's different. Look at here. They treat us different. A young man is unalive. All their white tea friends don't know what happened to him in Mississippi. They treat us different.
No,
they treat us different.
White people don't. No, bullshit. White people don't treat you no different. The reason why? Let me answer it. Let me answer it. The reason why it appears in your eyes that white people are treating you differently, you're doing what Fox News do. They go look for an illegal immigrant that's doing something wrong, and they say, "Oh, illegal immigrants are like that." You could have 100 African Americans killed by other black people. Hold on, let me finish. You could have 100 African Americans murder other black people on the same damn day. And you could have one white person do it up in rural Maine, kill a black person, and that's the only person you would be talking about. You're looking for this shit.
I'm not looking for it.
Yes, you are.
They found his unalive body, and you know what his friends are saying? His so-called friends, they don't know what happened.
I have watched.
I don't give a damn what color you was.
Yeah, you do.
Some real shit.
Yeah, you do.
Don't, but they happen to be white.
I have seen.
If they was a real friend, Tim.
Oh, shit.
If they was I wouldn't even leave your busted ass out there. I wouldn't even leave your fat ass out there. Even if I want a divorce, roll your damn eyes. Even if I want a divorce with your ugly ass who is in Mississippi, I wouldn't have left your ass. I would want.
I've been watching the First 48 on A&E for years. I've seen plenty of groups of African Americans take one of their friends and murder the guy.
And you don't say you. I'm not talking about
what you're only talking about. The only thing you're concerned about is a black person that is victimized by a white person.
I don't give a damn what color your friend
was. Yeah, you do.
No, Tim. Let me tell you something. I told you I don't give a damn if they was our own people. Something happened out there on that damn place, and nobody's talking. Nobody is. I don't give a fuck what color his friends was. If you so-called your friends, why are you not talking?
I get the not talking part, but I have a hard time.
That's what I'm saying. I don't give a damn what color.
I don't believe that, though.
Friends.
I don't believe that. I have a hard time.
Let me break this shit down to you. I don't give a fuck what color they was. That was not no friends. And it does happen more than what you think that it is.
I have a hard time believing.
It's a raccoon that likes to get your tonsil tickled.
You're trying to convince me you don't see color. I have a hard time believing that. If that whole group of people were all if that was 4 black people, we wouldn't be talking about this.
That's not true, Tim.
Yeah, it is. You wouldn't have brought it up. You wouldn't have brought it up.
You know what, Tim? You're such a white man. Go over there and kiss their ass.
What does this got to do with the white man?
Over there. and go to the damn fucking barbecue. You are a true raccoon. You see? Oh my God, I brought them up because they are white.
And if they were black, you wouldn't have said shit about them.
Something happened to him.
I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm telling you is this, Gangsta Grandma. African Americans lose their lives to suspicious circumstances to other blacks every damn day, and you don't say nothing about it. But let it happen. Let a white man do it, and you're all over it.
Talking point. You are the raccoon that talks about the talking point. Or what the fuck did they say about black on black? Oh, it's always about black on black. Oh my God, black on black. How about the white on white? They are the most highest of the numbers that we do. We're right behind them.
I'm just simply saying.
But they are the highest, though.
I'm just simply saying you see white.
I see color.
Right.
Okay?
That's all you do see.
Okay? They see color too, you stupid nut. What the fuck?
That ain't got. We're not talking about them. We're talking about you. We're not talking about them. We're talking about you.
They see color, nut. They don't like us, nut. They're putting Christianity back in school, nut.
Okay.
We're not doing it, nut.
Okay,
We're not putting our faith in a damn school. We're not doing nothing wrong. They're coming for us. They don't like our skin color. And don't tell me the white man don't see color. Because they see it every fucking damn day. What the fuck are you talking about? You come for me, oh, you see color. Damn fucking right. Because you know what? I don't trust they fucking asses. I'll be goddamn I don't trust they asses. I'll be damn I'm going to be on a fucking damn tree. You got me fucked up. I stayed packing.
Holy cow, it's a miracle. You've admitted you see color. You started out by saying you didn't see it.
Everybody sees color, you stupid numbnut.
That ain't what you said in the beginning.
Somebody tells you they don't see color, they're fucking a racist. Because they do see color. Everybody sees color. What are you talking about? This damn country is based on color. This country is based on racism. The white man makes racism.
Only the white man?
They made it, Tim.
Because I think you might be
Do you realize before the white man, we didn't have color? We was all one people. The Native Americans and shit.
Who sent that damn violin? Oh my God, that is wrong for that. Whoever sent that. Let me just say this. Look. What'd you say?
My granddaughter's talking.
Okay. Look, I personally think
you just saying that tonsils. You like it down your fucking throat. You like to taste the asses. That's what it is.
No.
People say I don't see color. You're fucking lying.
I think
this whole country was built on color.
It's a difference between seeing color and actually going out to actively looking for it. You're looking for it.
I see it because it's in the news. I see it because it happens in my neighborhood. I see it because I'm right there protesting it. What do you want me to do? Do a blind eye? Yes, master. I see it, but I don't want to talk about it. Yes, master. I'm not like you, Tim.
No, I'm going to ask the question that often comes up. You're out there. Why, if when you're talking about African Americans living in African American areas, your greatest threat is another African American, but yet all you talk about is a white man.
We have organizations of shit fighting that. We do. What does a white man got over there fighting them white tea or white tea? What is that damn organizations and helping the white tea kids unloose and not trying to kill our babies? When is that going to happen, huh, Tim? We got organizations trying to help. Mothers Against G violence. Pew violence. We have that in our communities. When is the white man going to have it? When they pew our damn schools.
Why not?
When are you going to ask them that, Tim? When are you going to ask them why they in our hoods doing that? You don't hear a black, you know what? You don't hear a hood school pew-pewing up our schools. You don't hear that.
No, they wait till they come home and do it.
No, oh, Tim, shut the fuck up, you cornball fucking ass.
You really don't. You really don't. I don't think
we have organizations, though, Tim. We have organizations that are trying to stop the shit. What does the white man have? What does the white man have, Tim? They don't want to stop shit. Their numbers are telling you they don't want to stop shit. Okay. We have a Triple K in office that are putting Christian nationalism in our schools. When is this shit going to stop? Tim, and you know what you talk about? Oh, we got black on black crime. You're the talking point of the GOP.
We don't have.
We got a talking point of the GOP. You know what? And I hope, and pray when the Democrats come in, we get tougher on the GUNSs.
Why are you suggesting that we have the triple K in office? What the hell are you talking about?
What the fuck? I know you raccoon didn't.
I'm asking a question.
Like
I haven't seen. Do you have any photos of Trump wearing a hood in a white outfit?
It's modern day, Tim. It's 2026. He's telling us up to our faces. What are you talking about?
Give me some examples of what Trump has done that's been comparable to the KKK.
Really?
Did
he didn't shut down what happened on the thing, right, about them marching? He didn't shut it down, did he? Did he not shut it down? He did it, right? He didn't talk about it, right? He allowed the shit to go down,
You
right?
want the president to stop a protest?
Tim, he won't condone. He won't say it wasn't wrong, Tim. He doesn't have to wear a hood. We know what he's about, Tim. Well, look what they're doing in our schools right now. They're taking out Black history and shit. They're trying to make it white tea, Tim. Oh my God, the white kids don't need to know about our history. Oh, God forbid, they might get their feelings hurt.
Look, I'm not disagreeing with everything you're saying, but I think you might be taking it too far.
You know what? I think you like to get fucked in the ass by the white man. You're a yes master, and you're a house fucking ninja. That's why people don't even want to come to your fucking life no more.
What the fuck
How
are
about
you?
that?
What?
How about that? Because you're a coon. You're a typical. You know when they was trying to have slaves and walk them across and go underground and shit, they would have left your ugly ass behind. They would have left your ugly ass behind.
If speaking from a speaking from a standpoint of common sense and not trying to blame every damn thing on the white man makes me a coon, then damn it, I'm a coon.
Let me tell you something. Blaming what they're doing on putting Bibles in the books. You can blame it on that. Taking Black history out of our fucking books. You can blame it on that. They're trying to take Juneteenth away from us. Blame it on that. They're trying to push a bill right now to tell people what they can and cannot vote. Blame it on that. That's Christian nationalism right there. What are you talking about?
We just had Juneteenth and nobody's taking Juneteenth away.
They're trying to take it. He said he doesn't want it, Tim. What are you talking about?
He didn't.
They took out free passes for Black people to get in the National Museum. What are you talking about?
They're not going to take Juneteenth away, gangster. It's not going to happen.
Okay, they're not going to. Watch by next year. Watch. They took out Black soldiers off of the thing until people started bitching so much. What are you talking about? What they haven't done?
I think to some degree, your dislike of Trump.
I think to some degree, you like to kiss your white man's asses. I think to some degree, your beloved maggot is your audience. I think some degree, you a fucking maggot. And I don't think you voted for her for real. Because you wouldn't be caping like this for the white man.
Okay, this woman was a bad candidate, but I'm not caping for the white man. What are you talking about? Caping how?
You know what's a bad candidate that's in office right now? We can't even play fucking soccer without him saying some shit. Without him trying this shit. So shut your dumb ass up.
You said we can't play soccer. Look, the man believes.
He doesn't be fucking with me. He really thinks like this. Well, I talked to him offline, and he really does think like this.
Listen, the man believes.
He's a fucking raccoon, for real.
The man believed that we got cheated in a bad call, so he was trying to defend the integrity of the United States.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Nobody needs a call. It's the referee's decision. They own it. He just wants to cheat on every goddamn thing.
Oh my God! Now you got We the Rabble in the comments saying, "Tim, you're a white lover." What is a white lover? What is that?
You are. You a fucking nasty ass, a snow roach lover. You like roast beef for fucking.
So let me ask you, and I'll ask We the Rabble. If you guys are telling me I'm a white lover, then what are you? What is the opposite of a white lover?
Oh, honey, I'm a chocolate lover, honey.
No.
For real. I love me some chocolate.
I think you're trying to.
I love me some chocolate.
I think you're trying to. I think you're trying
I
to.
don't get up there. I don't know. Drop down, girl. My friend's up here.
What
What
happened?
you at her for?
I don't know. I disconnected. How did that happen? I think you're
I
trying
don't
to. I think you're trying to deny you got hate in your heart.
I don't have no kind of hate in my heart. I just do not like the man. Look what they're doing to us, Tim. They are dividing everything. They're taking out ICE, okay? They're destroying fucking families, Tim. They're putting Christians on Bibles, and I am a Christian, and I don't believe that our Christian faith should be in the schools because we're supposed to be a freedom of religion. They're doing that. They're putting white tea, Christian nationalism in everything. Oh, God forbid we talk about the LGBTQ, but oh no, we got to talk about the damn Bible. In schools, you stupid fuck.
He says we love you, gangster grandma. You talk to him
I
like
don't
that?
love him. No, he's a Christian nationalist. Go fuck yourself.
He's not a Christian nationalist. He believes in
He
God.
is a Christian nationalist. If you believe in putting the Bible in your school, you're a Christian nationalist. It's not supposed. I thought it was supposed to be against. You're supposed to keep state and religion apart. I thought that was supposed to be. It's in our Constitution. They're not for our Constitution.
Yeah. Well, he does say I'm a Christian, but I don't think God belongs in schools. One of these things don't make sense. Oh, so he's saying that if you love God, you should want God in schools.
No, I love me some God, but I do not
I
believe
love.
it should be in the schools because not all of the babies are Christians. And then, you know how disgusting, how vile that white trash is in office? That's what they have. The thing around the head. What is it called? Because I don't want to butcher it. I don't want to butcher it.
You talking about a turban?
Is it a turban or whatever? I don't know what it's called because I'm not a Muslim and I don't want to butcher it. You know what I mean? These babies wore their faith around their head, right?
Yeah.
And he was bashing babies.
Trump was
my
doing
God.
that?
Yeah, he was talking shit. The job. If I butcher it, I apologize.
The hijab.
You
You
know
know
what
about the
I mean?
hijab. Yeah, they
You're
say
talking
hijab.
shit about babies.
I didn't
How
hear that.
disgusting that was.
I gotta admit, I didn't hear that. So that part I did not
yeah,
hear.
that's your master. Go get fucked by him. You like it like that? Go get tonsil talkie.
All right,
That's your little. I'll bow down to him. Kindergarteners, for God's sake.
okay, you
That's
don't.
your Christian nationalist that you bow down to. Well, he's not that bad. Oh, he's a good businessman. No, he's a racist piece of shit that goes out to 5-year-old black little girls that just minding their business, doing their faith openly, and they can, and they're not doing nothing but graduating kindergarten with their little job. And he was talking shit about it.
I have to see it. I haven't heard of that, but I do got to move it on. That's horrible if that's the case, though. I haven't
That
heard
was
that.
horrible. How are you going to talk crap to babies? Leave the kids alone. And now you're going to put Christian faith in our schools. But yeah, you're talking shit about another faith. And you know what? You know what, Tim? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Shut the fuck up and cut that shit out. Shut the fuck up and cut the shit out, Tim.
All right, I'll leave it at that. I'll shut the fuck up. Real quick.
You never push back on them. You need to start harder. You don't need to disrespect their asses. Just push back, tell them, show me the proof, or shut the fuck up.
I do that all the time. You just don't hear
you
it.
really don't. No. You are pansy to them. That's why they disrespect you on their life. Start showing someone, start doing it, Tim, and watch. They'll start showing you more respect because you really don't. You don't, Tim. And then you start having people in your comments. When you start having racism on your shit, you start letting them say colored and boys.
I believe in free speech, gangster grandma. That's going to happen.
All right. So why do you push back when I call crackers?
I gotta go. Gangster grandma, everybody tap the screen, get the lights on up. 95,000. Gangster grandma letting me have it. Always a pleasure talking to her. That is my internet wife. I miss having my Christian prayer time in schools before they took it out. Well, they could give you prayer time. Who said that? Zepper Warden. You could have prayer time in school where they just, a moment of silence, maybe once or twice a day, 10 minutes or whatever, and you can do your prayer thing. It doesn't have to be said out loud. It doesn't have to be led by the teacher. It doesn't have to be interpreted by the class or read out of the Bible. Just give you 10 minutes or 5 minutes, moment of silence, or whatever the case may be. They can still do that. In the comments, and they can do it for all religions too, by the way. In the comments, 1 cup 2 bears. What's wrong with the 10 Commandments? Satan loves hatred. Jesus all about straight love, not the anti-family AIDS kind of lust. Well, that's the problem with Jesus. You just made an anti-LGBT slur in that. You said Jesus is all about straight love, not anti-family AIDS kind of lust. So you just attacked the gay community in that one statement. That's the reason why we don't want religion in schools, is that type of shit right there. What you just said, homophobic as the days are long. But you also asked, what's wrong with the 10 Commandments? It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant to a kid in school. A lot of it is. I mean, covet thy neighbor's wife? What does a third grader need to be told about coveting thy neighbor's wife? There's a lot of things in the 10 Commandments that are irrelevant. Thou shalt have no God before me. Why is that? Why are you telling kids that kind of shit? So, and this goes against the folks who suggest that, the religion brings back morality. That's kind of why it would be a good thing to put it in schools. Okay, it does more than morality. You got somebody right there talking anti-homophobic stuff, but like I said, also covet thy neighbor's wife and stuff like that. That has no place being taught in elementary school. These kids aren't married, or covet thy neighbor's wife. Why is that coming up? That's irrelevant to these kids. So there's a bunch of it in there, and of course, thou shalt have no other God before me is essentially telling all the non-Christian kids that their God is not real. This is why I keep suggesting that the 10 Commandments would be incredibly divisive. If the students ask, what does thou shalt have no other God? I think that's one of the 10 Commandments, is it not? About thou shalt have no, or beware of false prophets or whatever. All of that stuff is telling you that the other religions aren't real. So you're just creating division by doing that. E. Jean Carroll 2028 says, David, that's kind of funny. Religion traditionally relies on the indoctrination of the young. True. Religion doesn't work if you start asking questions. You need to just have faith that this is the truth. If you start asking questions, I think my problem started as a younger man when I started asking questions, and now in more modern time, getting my hands on a lot of material by Neil deGrasse Tyson has not been good. You get your hands on a scientist, and it's like, wow. But Neil deGrasse Tyson is one who talks about religion. Look, it hasn't been good for the religious aspect of me. Anyway, looking at the comments, she will bruise you in the head is mostly what applied to me, says Debo, huh? In the comments, tap the screen, by the way, get us up to 95,000, if you will. Travelman says, agreed. Yeah, once I started listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is really good at orating points, he's obviously a very well-accomplished scientist, very intelligent, and yeah. I mean, whatever religion was in me, he kind of hurt that. Looking in the comments, hey, that image in the background, I couldn't help but notice nobody is stabbing her. True. That is true. Nobody is stabbing this woman. They are non-violent racists. They're not going to stab her. They're not going to hurt her. They're not going to set anything on fire. They're just going to go down to the Capitol or the whatever building they stood in front of, and they're just going to tell you how much they hate other people. Very peaceful racists. In the comments, boo-hoo, the USA couldn't even cheat their way to win. Did they officially lose? Has the United States officially lost to Belgium, which really makes it look embarrassing if they did at that point. At least you could have said we would have won if it wasn't for that bullshit call. But now that you don't overturn the call and got the guy back in the game, if you still lose, it's going to look bad. It's going to look bad on the president, because now, even if we lose, what he did is part of our legacy. We interfered with the World Cup. That's on there. It would have been better for us to lose and be able to try to suggest that, we would have won if the referees hadn't have blown this shit. But now that we don't went in there and did all of that and to still lose, it does look bad. I actually love spaghetti. What is it? They're about to. USA can't play soccer. And you know the crazy thing is, from what I hear, that individual that Trump got reinstated to the game, he's only here to do the birthright citizenship. He was somebody, this soccer player that we put back out there, he's here to do the birthright citizenship. So if Trump had got his way, this dude wouldn't even be on the fields from what I hear. Tap the screen, get the lights on up, Sergeant Black. Oh, just like they did on January 6th, let the Republicans tell him. Question is, what would have happened to the woman if the cameras were not on? I don't know. I don't think they were going to do anything to that woman. I could be wrong. Sergeant, good evening. Sergeant, are you there? Well, you got a terrible signal. I'm going to have to move it on. I don't know. You saying if the cameras were not on, this African-American woman sitting here, they would have harmed her? I don't know. If she had sat there and didn't say shit, I don't think they would have harmed her. But like I said, I could be wrong. Now, if she started talking shit, that's different. But if she had just sat there, I don't think they was going to do anything to her. They know, I mean, maybe. I'll leave it at that. I can't speak on it. Let me go back to the box. We'll go to one of my subscribers here. Travelman, good evening. Welcome to the program.
Tim, how you doing?
I'm in the trenches as always. What does this photo say to you?
Hey, man, them dudes walking around with them masks on, they a bunch of, I'm not going to say the word. Okay?
Bunch of gentlemen, bunch of patriots.
They a bunch of damn punks. That's all they are. They come out of the damn suburbs acting like they got some damn balls, and they ain't got shit. You know? I don't even want to talk about them knuckleheads.
Do you think they would have harmed this woman?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You probably would have kicked their ass.
It's a lot of them. I don't think that's going to happen, but I don't think they would have harmed her.
So my question is, what clown gave them the parade permit or whatever the hell they had to get to do that on July the 4th? That's my question.
Well, I mean, why would they be denied a permit? It's a peaceful protest. You don't have to have your face visible to protest. I mean, what they did was legal.
Are they talking about faith?
What do you mean?
What they doing?
They're preaching.
I didn't really pay it. When I first saw it, I'll be honest with you, Tim. When I first saw it, I went because I thought it was AI. I went and Googled to see if I could find anything about it because I'm like, ain't no way all these doggone guys walking around DC like that. But then, yeah, they were. You know, This just goes to show you that for the most part, they leave people alone.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of your violence sometimes come from the clowns on the right.
I don't know. It depends. I mean, like, listen, I'm from the south side of Chicago. I cannot imagine these dudes going on the south side of Chicago.
They know where to go.
Yeah, I mean, because they would have
They know where to go. But back to this thing you was talking about also with this. For some reason or another, y'all been on. I just came on a little while ago. So you've been on religion in the schools. Mm-hmm. You know, when I was in school, Tim, I'll be honest with you. The only thing we ever said was the Pledge of Allegiance. We never talked about religious.
No, we didn't either. We didn't either.
You know, so I don't know where all this I don't know why all this BS from. Oh, they took God out of school. God was never in my school.
Well, it probably was in schools going back before our time. It's probably. I mean, remember they want to make America. They want to make America great again. So it's an era that probably goes back before you and I.
Well, it wasn't a good era for us then.
Well, I didn't say that. I didn't say it was good for us. I get that part.
It's just like now, you know, everybody's hollering about 250 years old. But out of those 250 years, we were under some kind of slavery or oppression or something out of 190 of those years.
Yeah.
You know? So it goes like Frederick Douglass say, what does the 4th of July mean to the slave? You know? Well, I mean, I
tell you, I got a lot of angry MAGA that the African American community is complaining about celebrating Independence Day on the 4th and saying they would rather do Juneteenth. Or a lot of African Americans are now saying July 4th doesn't mean anything to them. I got a lot of angry MAGA for that.
Bruh, I have heard that for years. That they're not really celebrating it. They're using it as a family. A thing for family or whatever, not so much to celebrate the birth of the country. Because when you think about it, where were we at in 1776?
Right.
You know?
1876.
Why, exactly. Why is it that when one of the most heinous acts in this country. Once it finally ended, there's nothing to commemorate it. Never discussed. Just a paragraph in the book.
Because they didn't want it. Because they didn't want to do it.
Exactly. You think that something like that should be? I mean, they talk about December the 7th. They talk about all other kind of things that have taken place in this country, but they never discuss when slavery ended, because when it ended, black folks didn't get shit, didn't get a damn thing, except the clothes on their back, the pots and pans they had, and a damn wagon to get on the road.
Yeah, it's really crazy that there hasn't been a day to commemorate the end of slavery until Biden did it in 2021. Look, I get the argument about reparations and shit, but to not even commemorate the day to the point where a lot of Americans did not even know what day slavery ended, that's insane.
Yeah, but now everybody, it was known and celebrated within my community, people that I know, especially people down south and things of that nature. But, and I did 20 years in the military, and then, like I say, I spent 35 years of my life devoted to the way of our way of life and our rights and things that we deserve and that that the country stand for. So nobody can tell me a damn thing about it, But at the same time, I have studied Black history since I was 15 years old, so I know what Black people have went through in this country. I know where they want to take this. Oh, well, I even had a guy tell me, well, we gave y'all the Civil Rights Bill. No, you didn't give us a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So all this religion in the school, I got away from. I believe in a higher power. Okay, I believe in some form of spirituality. Okay, but don't come quoting the Bible to me, because you use the Bible to form racist behavior and to justify the things that you were doing to somebody else. So don't talk to me about that, and don't talk to me about you guys. All they're doing is indoctrinating our kids with what you were saying earlier. But if you put the 10 Commandments in school and you got some of these people want to talk about religions, that's indoctrination.
Yeah. And in the comments, Handsome Conservative says, what is he says, and all the scientists' knowledge won't help them on their deathbed. Only Jesus can do that. Bullshit. Scientists.
Bullshit.
Yeah. If you're sick in a hospital, you want somebody to show up that's a scientist, not somebody that's praying. If you break your leg, if you break your leg, who do you want to come and set it? You want a priest or do you want a doctor or something?
You know what? Every time there's a mass unaliving in this country, but we're gonna pray for you. Those people don't want no damn prayer. No. They want you to do something. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you right now, don't pray for me. You know what? If there is a heaven, you're not gonna get through those gates no quicker than I am. Because most of the Christians that I run into, and I know, those are the most hypocritical people you run into. The ones who perpetrated all the bad things that happened in this country was driven by doggone Christian people.
Here's what I don't understand.
ABs, you talk about ABs, they went into a church and unalived the AB doctor.
Wow.
The Christians did.
Here's what I don't understand. It's like I've always been told that we're given free will. That's why you have all kinds of misery and stuff on earth. If people are given free will, then what are you praying for? I mean, if you're going to suggest that God does not interfere with anything happening on earth, he allows free will. So if a bad guy wants to come in your house and take your life, God's not going to, then what are you praying for? You've already made it clear.
Covet thy neighbor's wife. I tell you what, she want to come out them drawers. I'm gonna cover that.
Oh my Lord! I'm gonna leave that alone.
I'll ask for forgiveness later.
Well,
the biggest violators of the 10 Commandments and the 7 deadly sins are the Bible thumpers running around here playing all this holy roller shit. They're the biggest violators of it.
Well, speaking of that, I want you to hear this clip. I want to get your opinion on this.
Nation, and never will be. A Christian nation would never have killed and displaced 20 million Native Americans who are still left out and living in poverty. A Christian nation would never have thought slaves was pleasing to God, or that it lined up with Scripture in any way, shape, or size. And we not only practiced it, but we were so obsessed with it that we went to war about it. We had a civil war. And in that civil war, 500,000 Americans died.
Question, are we a Christian nation in your opinion?
We're a nation full of hypocrites is what we are. They use religion to attain the end goal. That's what they use it for. And that's why they quote the scripture that, and then things that are so hypocritical or so devious or so barbaric, then they try to push it under the rug and get it away from history so nobody knows about it. It's done, and that's what they continue to do. Look at what they're doing right now. I mean, bring it to the forefront. The guy that they have in the White House, that all these so-called Christian conservatives and all these evangelicals, they have absolutely no credibility because they voted against a man they voted for a man not once, not twice, but 3 times that is the antithesis of everything they believe in. And they try to rationalize it. And now look at what we have.
Well,
we have top-line corruption going on.
In defense of Trump, I can understand it because
look, ain't no defense.
Well, let me attempt it.
But I'll listen to you.
Let me attempt it. Yeah, President Trump may not live the evangelical, Christian community wants, but he's promoting it. So maybe God sent us a guy that's not perfect in his image, but what he is delivering is the way of life we seek. For instance, thanks to Trump, you got pro-life judges on the Supreme Court, and now they're well on their way to making America getting closer and closer to being a pro-life country. And
a theocracy.
Huh?
A theocracy.
Well, this is what they call it what you want, but this is what they want. I'm saying that what Trump is doing, despite his own life and personal misgivings, he is giving them a far-right America that they seek. As you mentioned, religion starting to slowly but surely eke its way back in schools. God is coming back. This is what they wanted. So yeah, he's not perfect. Maybe God sent us an imperfect guy to deliver us what we want. That's what they're seeing.
Yeah, but now as a result of that, now you're starting to see the backlash. Now people are seeing what this far-right, pro-Christian, Bible-thumping people, what they're trying to put on the country. And now you're starting to see the backlash from it because of the policies and the things that they're doing. And now as a result of that, probably come September, you're going to see some serious seat losses during the election. They're gonna lose the House. It's just a question of how many seats they're gonna lose it by. And there is a possibility they could take the Senate. That's a much harder thing.
Do you think Trump is gonna let that happen? No. Let's say the Democrats
What do you mean he's gonna let that happen? What can he do? I mean, is he gonna take over the election?
Yeah. I mean, he could tell Mike Johnson there was fraud on Democrats that won in the House. Don't certify them. Yeah, Thune, he could tell them the same thing. Yeah, I believe he would do that.
So what you think would happen within the country if he did that?
He would.
I think if he tried to do something like that, Tim, I think we would see some serious backlash going on.
Yeah, and he would just throw you in. I mean, you see what he did in Minneapolis. I mean, if he does something to the election, and all of a sudden people rise up, then he'll just put more military out there and squelch them.
But see, you guys kill me with this, man. You guys kill me with this.
How so?
What makes you think that the military is going to go and do something that's based on that's based against the Constitution.
I watched
trying to take over election.
I watched
Come on, man.
I watched ICE propelled from a Black Hawk helicopter on the south side of Chicago to take over an apartment complex. He can find people that'll do what he wants, Travelman. He can find the right.
You can't find enough, Tim. You can't find enough. That what you're talking about, an isolated incident. You're talking about taking over the election.
They took over Minnesota, Travelman.
You're talking about a city. You're talking about taking over the entire election. I'm trying to get with you on it. I'm trying to see it.
I'm gonna give you since we're talking religion, how about this one? How about this from straight from the scripture? I don't know which verse, but what does that say? What does it say? There is no secret what Trump can do.
But see what you guys fail to realize, maybe I'm wrong, but you do realize that over 70-some million people voted against Trump.
Yeah. You know, but listen, one military guy with the proper orders can keep quiet dozens of regular folk.
Not Tim. Because now you get into the fact what they were talking about when they talk about lawful and unlawful orders. Mm-hmm. Now you start getting into that. And that's the difference.
Well, first of all, keep in mind if Trump does something with the elections, it's not like there's going to be unrest all over America. It's only going to be, you think in rural Alabama there's going to be some unrest? No, they're going to be agreeing with it. All of the Bible Belt areas, for the most part, maybe a few cities like Memphis or whatever, but for the most part, most of the Bible Belt areas are going to be in favor of it. So let's say you got some problems in Chicago or you got some problems in Minneapolis. Trump goes on television and states, we've been trying to maintain a free and fair election forever. And now that we've successfully gotten America's elections back on the right track, we got a whole bunch of nasty liberals all over the city setting fire and things like that. Perhaps we need a few patriots from down south where you guys do things right to come up here and help out our patriots that are up here trying to take care of this. You would flood that area.
Now you're talking Civil War.
I'm just telling you what Trump can do.
Now, Trump can do. But see, you guys seem to think that people just gonna sit back and let Trump do what Trump do.
What has been happening to this point? What do you think has been happening so far? They have been sitting back and letting Trump do
what happened. What happened in Minnesota? What happened in Minneapolis? You brought that up. What happened? They ran him out of there.
They didn't run him out of there.
What happened in Chicago? What happened? They ran him out of Chicago.
They didn't run him out. Trump just got tired of killing people.
Oh, see, now you rationalize it.
I'm just saying.
Now you rationalize it.
It looked bad to run it. Listen.
Why did they leave Chicago?
They got tired of killing people.
Oh, they got tired. It's not the fact that the people will start like they tried to run the lady off the road. You think 5 times and stuff.
You think Bovino was ready to leave Minneapolis? That guy was having fun walking around Target in his third right jacket. That dude was having fun.
Back again. Are they still there?
No.
They got ran out of there. The people ran them out, Tim.
No.
Guys just, man, you know what? When you get to talking like this, bro, our conversation goes off the rails, man.
Let me just say this. First of all, because I got a friend, I got somebody, not a friend, but somebody I follow online. She actually lives in Ireland now. She left. She lives in Minneapolis. And I'll tell you, they're still in Minneapolis. It's just that they went to Minneapolis to intimidate the Somali population. And the fact is, there's not a lot of work for ICE in Minneapolis. The Somalis are out here legally. So the reason they were sent there was bullshit to begin with. So they didn't get ran out of there. There really was nothing to do. I mean, the people they went there to intimidate are not committing any crimes.
This is the thing also. All that stuff they did last year, that caught people by surprise.
Yeah.
This is not, the surprise is gone. The surprise is gone. You're not going to roll up into these places now and think you're going to do that. Now, they still arrested like 5,000 people. Now you see they're much more silent about it. They're still doing it. They just changed their tactics. But they not surprising anybody anymore. Everybody's aware of what's going on. Yeah, they are still in Chicago, but they're not doing what they were doing last year.
Well, I
Because
disagree.
aware of what they're doing.
Yeah, I disagree with the notion that an armed populace can stop tyranny, though. To me, there's plenty of folks in Minnesota that had firearms, and ICE went in there and did whatever the hell they wanted to, up to and including killing people. And they were able to do it until they decided they were ready to leave. I don't think that the average.
I think the people had something to do with them leaving, man. You might think they didn't. I think the people did. They're like, just like you cannot. People seem to think that the military is just gonna fall in line and do what Trump says do, and it's not gonna happen like that. You just had a major stand up there in uniform and deny. You got a whole lot of people in the military that's like that.
I mean, I hear what you're saying.
Going by the UTMJ.
I hear what you're saying, but I've seen them blow up boats off the coast of Venezuela. They're blowing up schoolgirls full of kids in Iran. You can get the military to do shit. If just don't send them to areas that they're from, and you can get them to do that stuff.
I disagree.
I hope you're right and I'm wrong. I got to move it on, but I want you to be right and I want to be wrong.
Blowing up those boats, they're going to get parked, because if they don't, then there's going to be some repercussions behind it when Trump leaves office. That's what people fail to realize. In a couple of years, that dude's going to be gone.
Yeah, but that's the point, Travelman, is you let them know you follow orders with me, and you will be rewarded. You'll get your commendations, you get your promotions. If something goes wrong, I got your back in the form of a pardon. You can't go wrong with me.
MAGA will follow him. People that's not MAGA will not.
I don't know if I agree with
that.
that.
Not MAGA, they're not gonna follow.
I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong.
I guess I have more faith in it than most people do. That's just the faith that I have in the military.
Well, you do. You are military.
And I know
you are military. So maybe that's it.
So I know how Marines think. Marines will kill you. Marines will unalive you in a heartbeat. They will. But if you try if against American people, that's a whole different ball game.
I want you to be right. I gotta go, Travelman. I want you to be right. So right, we'll leave it at that. Hopefully we are never having a conversation where I'm saying, see, I told you. So I want to never be able to say that.
Or vice versa.
All right, appreciate it. Tap the screen. I don't want to ever be able to say I told you so. In the comments, most of those high-ranking officers that they demoted are speaking out now. Yeah. But like I said, you find some young, impressionable man or young woman and tell them, if you follow orders, we're going to look out for you and make sure you climb the ranks fast. If you don't follow the orders, you're going to be punished. If it goes south, I'm going to pardon you. So you can't lose by doing what I'm asking you to do. You can't lose. I think a lot of people would actually take them up on it. That's my opinion. Trust me, Rubio or J.D. Vance will be president unless they cheat again. And all of a sudden, there's thousands of votes where there wasn't any overnight, says Susan. Susan, I don't know how many times I got to say this. This whole cheating, election fraud shit, until it comes with proof, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I would be willing to sit down and entertain your statement, the stuff that's coming from Trump. I would be willing to entertain that if it came with some proof. But fact is, the overwhelming majority of election fraud shit that Trump is claiming comes with no proof. You guys will believe anything. The same thing with the cats and dogs and the country's being taken over by communists. And what did he say? You send your kid to school one gender and they come home another one. He also said a woman gives birth to a baby, they put the baby to the side and the doctor decides to you guys just believe this shit. I mean, he just said something. You guys just believe it. Is it really out of pocket for you to ask for proof? Like, is his word that perfect that you're afraid to even say, sir, could you at least show me a case of what you're talking about? Just believe this stuff. I mean, he says a lot of wild shit that has no... I mean, the guy posted a picture of himself as Jesus and tried to convince you that he thought it meant he was a physician. And a lot of you guys are on here trying to say, yeah, that's what we thought. You just believe some... I mean, like, you guys are regular, everyday, hardworking Americans just like everybody else. You're working right alongside everybody else. You're serving in the military right alongside everybody else. You're law-abiding citizens in most cases, just like everybody else. Why the hell are you coming across as idiots? You guys didn't used to be like this. What does it take to convince a group of people just to believe fucking anything? Like, is it that bad to just simply say, sir, could you provide some evidence of what you're saying? You guys just believe anything. You were not like this under Bush, under Reagan. You guys were not like this. Just believe any damn thing. And he knows it. He actually knows that he can tell you anything and you're going to believe it without questioning it. We would like to take the opportunity to welcome you to our community and personally thank you for your contribution to the Greater Israel Project, says AIPAC Society. AIPAC comes along with money. If you're AIPAC, I'm gonna yell out what Cuba Gooding Jr. did. Show me the money. I don't see any money. You're not AIPAC. You're fraud. Tim is back. Yes, Kareem, I didn't leave. Conservative, were you coming up, Hanson Conservative? It's not that we believe everything he says, it's that you guys try a lot of shit. No, you guys believe everything he says. January 6th is a perfect example of you believe in everything he said. January 6th was only 2 months and a couple of days after the election in 2020. You didn't have any proof of anything he was saying at that point. You guys out there yelling, stop the steal, and Biden stole the election. You didn't have any proof that close because Trump was still investigating, or better yet, his Attorney General, Jim Barr, they were still investigating his claims. And yet you're at the Capitol building tearing up shit, talking about people stealing shit. That's just based solely on what Trump had told you at that point. It's too close to the damn election to actually have proof at that point. You didn't have any proof. It's been, what now, almost 6 years? You still don't have proof what Trump alleged in 2020 is true. You absolutely didn't have proof 2 months out. So no, you guys are just buying shit. And in the comments, what is his name here? Not a code of personality says there is and was proof. Here's where I have the problem. Do you realize that virtually all of Trump's first administration, people who would have gotten a second term, from Attorney General Barr, Ambassador Bolton, Mike Pence, Ben Carlson, all of those folks would likely have gotten a second term if Trump had won that election. None of his first term, Scaramucci, Omarosa, none of them are saying he won that election. The people that would have benefited from it the most, all of them are saying he lost. None of them are saying that. Is there any Republican governors in this great nation that say Trump won that election? How many Republican senators are out there saying Trump won in 2020? Maybe you got Marjorie Taylor Greene, who probably wouldn't say shit now that MAGA's threatening to kill her. But how many, you don't have many Republican, not Democrats. We expect the liberals not to like Trump. We expect them not to like Trump. But the overwhelming majority of the Republican politicians in this nation also say Trump lost. At the national level, they do. I don't know of any Republican governor that says Trump won the 2020 election. I don't know any Republican senator that says he won. So you're going based on him. All of your party says that dude lost. You're going with your theory based solely on him. Even the people that oversee and run the election are telling you he lost. You're taking his word and discrediting everybody else while he's providing virtually no proof at all. That's the point I'm making, is that Trump can tell you something and it don't matter who else tell you otherwise, you're going to believe. Why I always ask that same question to my beloved MAGA folks. I ask them all the time using a fictional example. Let's just for fiction's sake say Trump committed a major crime, but he was lying and saying he didn't do it. Who could tell you he was guilty and you would actually believe it? I don't think there's anyone out there. I don't think there's anyone out there that could tell. That's why I say the Epstein list, the Epstein files, that stuff don't matter. Doesn't matter what comes out of it. If that man is saying he is not guilty, it doesn't matter what comes out of it. You're going to say the FBI that took the notes, the Justice Department that is trying to go after him. You're going to just say all of them folks are, it's a witch hunt. If he says he's innocent, there's nobody that can tell you otherwise, and you're going to believe him. So, in my opinion, what comes out of the Epstein files is irrelevant at this point. MAGA's not going to believe any of that shit anyway. You'll just say, whoever the Fed that interviewed this person that said they were violated, it's probably a Democratic plant. It's probably somebody that was in it for the money, part of the deep state. You're not going to take their word. You're going to take all of these women that accuse Trump. You believe Trump. All of the women have been discredited already. They're just in it for the money. They're making it up. So as long as Trump said he's innocent, there's really no argument with MAGA. That's good enough. Looking in the comments, though, only thing he could possibly want out of the election being stolen is dictatorship. Word that travesty can't be repeated. He, in fact, lost. He knows it. No verifiable proof has been presented. I agree with that. He absolutely lost the election. If he had real proof, he would present real proof. This is the same issue with the reflective pool, where Trump is saying somebody cut a gash in the pool and they got actual evidence of it on camera. If they had that shit, they would release it. If they actually had it, Trump don't keep information hidden when it works in his favor. He does not do that. When he's hiding information, it's because the information is not what he's telling you it is. If they had a video of somebody walking around cutting that pool, you would have seen that immediately. Trump releases a lot of shit before the investigators even want it released. But all of a sudden, when it comes to this, he suddenly, you'll see it in court. No, you won't. It's not going to come out. USA 1, Belgium 4. Looks like Belgium is about to take a victory lap on that. Zephyr Warden says you need to do a more deep dive about things before you start talking about it. No, I don't. Only way you need to do a deep dive on the 2020 election is if you are specifically looking for information that makes Trump look good. You got multiple judges. You got the cyber ninjas that Trump hired himself. You got multiple governors, multiple polling folks you got way more than enough evidence from people who actually are involved in elections to say he lost. The only way you're going to walk away thinking Trump won is you did a deep dive, ignored all of the people who actually are involved in it, and found some obscure people who say otherwise. Like Dinesh D'Souza with 2,000 Mules. Watched it 6 times. He has no access to the election. If you watch Dinesh D'Souza, first of all, just the election was investigated shows it, the way they did it, okay? You go to Michigan, you go to Detroit. You go to Wisconsin, you go to Milwaukee. You go to Georgia, you investigate in Atlanta. You investigate in Arizona, you go to Phoenix. Okay, well, what's happening in Eau Claire, Wisconsin? What's happening in Savannah, Georgia? You're only doing investigations in Democrat areas. So, first of all, your investigation is biased to begin with. If Republicans are cheating, you're not even going to catch it because you're only in Democrat areas doing it. So, and that's how Dinesh D'Souza did it. So that's the first thing, is that there's no way in hell we're going to go with an investigation that is that fucking biased, where all of your investigations are taking place only in Democrat areas. You basically went into this with the notion that Republicans are honest, Democrats are the only ones that cheat. So we're only going to investigate fraud in Democrat areas. Is it possible there could have been ballot harvesting or people stuffing mailboxes in Republican areas? I don't know. We didn't go there. We only went to Democrat areas. Well, then your investigation is a piece of shit. It has no credibility to it. And if you watch Dinesh D'Souza, that's a good example of it. Second thing is, you show them showing up around mailboxes at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, what they call it, ballot harvesting or stuffing boxes or whatever. If you don't see what's on the vote, you don't see what's on the ballots, how do you know they ain't stuffing it full of Republican votes? You're just assuming all of this shit you're seeing that looks suspicious, it all has to be for Democrats. That's not how you do an investigation. And that's what Dinesh D'Souza and that 2,000 Mule shit. It's just all speculation that everything we see looks suspicious, And it has to be done in favor of Democrats. That's no court is going to rule on that. Looking in the comments here, I doubt any Christian that does not believe that their God belongs everywhere. That's what we're called to do, is spread the message no matter the cost. I don't mind you spreading the message. In fact, the Jehovah Witnesses stopped knocking on my door because I wanted to get answers when it came to religion. I would let the Mormons in the house. I asked them questions. Okay, you want to tell me this guy exists and I need to make good with him, otherwise I'm going to be screwed eternally. Well, let's sit down and have a conversation. And it got to the point where the Jehovah Witnesses would avoid my house. The Mormons would not come to me. I could be sitting on the porch and the motherfuckers are walking across the street because I would hold them for an hour or two. Like, okay, what's the evidence? Okay, they open up the book. Okay, well, I treat the Bible like any other book. You open up a science book, it tells you if you mix baking soda and vinegar, you're going to get all of this fizz and overrun. Now, I can go mix baking soda and vinegar and actually see that. Show me what's in this book. Show me how you know this is true. You can't. Okay, it says here they took one man's rib and they made a woman out of it. Okay, so you're telling me if I take your rib, I can make somebody that look like your wife? Show me that this stuff is true. They stopped coming by my house. They stopped talking to me. It's a damn shame. But I invite them over. I don't run away from the religious folks. The religious folks run away from me because if you ask questions, at the end of the day, the only way it works is you just got to believe. And thank you, handsome conservative. Like I said, I don't mind spreading the word, but be ready to answer the questions. How Tim screams proof, evidence, unless it's Trump. No, because I just asked a minute ago to show me evidence that those Patriot Front guys were MAGA. I said, show me evidence that they're KKK. Just did it on the show a few minutes ago. So, no, we ask proof on the left as well. We don't just ask for proof from the right, but we do ask from the right. And I'm 100% certain Trump has made a lot of allegations about the 2020 election that came with no proof. In fact, he also said they were committing fraud in California a month or so ago. He didn't prove that either. There is a big difference between something that may look suspicious and jumping up and saying it's fraud. If I walk down the street and your front door is wide open and you're not home, that looks suspicious. Looks like somebody may have broken in your home. But that doesn't mean somebody did break in your home. Trump and MAGA are taking things that they perceive as looking suspicious, and they're jumping all the way up to something actually happened. But then when they're asked, well, prove it happened, they can't. They go right back to, well, but it didn't look right. I went to sleep and Trump was up, and then the mail-in votes came in and he was down. Okay, but prove somebody cheated. Then they go, well, but when I went to sleep, he was up. But prove he got cheated. There's no proof there. They go back to, well, it looks suspicious. Suspicion and actual proof are not the same thing. Looking in the comments, that's not true. We're going based on a lot of evidence the media and the judges hushed. Yeah, okay, sure. And Mike Pence hushed it as well, huh? And Attorney General Jim Barr hushed it as well, huh? And all the Republican governors that want Trump to win and voted for Trump, they all hushed it as well, huh? The whole nation, including Republican politicians, are all against Trump, huh? Yet now that he's in office, they're doing everything he asks. That makes zero sense. If there was information out there, you would have heard it from the likes of Chris Christie and all the current governors like Governor Kemp in Georgia. They would have said it. None of them are saying Trump won. You just, like I said, you want what Trump said to be true. And the minute it's coming back that it's not, well, it's because they hushed the information. You say that about any damn thing. In the comments, people in Cali voted for a tax hike. Sorry, but I'm calling cap on that. Man, they count some of the votes at different times. Come on, common sense, Trump just lost. Yeah, Trump didn't win that election. I'm just telling you, he didn't win that election. If he had won that election, it's been almost 6 years, and Trump's been in office Two, since he got reelected, he would be able to show you a lot more information if he had a won. The problem is at some point you have to have faith, and I think that's where you're having issues. True. That is absolutely true when it comes to religion and conservative. It is true. Especially if it's having faith in stuff that makes no sense. Like the Adam and Eve story or burning bushes or people living to be 900 and things. It's going to be hard to convince me of that just based on faith. It's going. I would also bring up our God is all loving, all knowing, all loving God. I don't look at Earth and see any all loving, I don't see any of that. I don't see any of that at all. I mean, I'm being told if you follow him, you'll be granted eternity in this place, heaven, I suppose, where it's all love and all that. And I'm looking at Earth like, well, he created this shit and it's terrible. He created this. It's a mess. People are murdering each other. They're starting wars and all kinds of shit. Everybody hate each other. This is his creation. And you're telling me I need to really follow this dude because he's going to take me to another place he created that's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of faith that you got to have in that. I'm just going to say there is a lot of faith in that. Why Democrats are cutting checks for them paying the deed. I don't know what you're talking about. I heard somebody say that Democrats are paying homeless people. Let me just say this. Elon Musk gave Trump $350 million, was writing $1 million checks in Wisconsin to get folks to sign petitions and shit. The right didn't have any problem with that. But when it comes to the Democrats where they're cutting checks to homeless people or they're handing people bottles of water in line, or all of a sudden you really care about the Democrats doing something. George Soros invested a lot of money in progressive causes. You didn't say shit about the Koch brothers when they were doing it under the Bush administration. The Koch brothers put millions of dollars into conservative causes. But George Soros, now he's wrong for it, huh? I just hear hypocrisy. I hear hypocrisy in that. There's a reason California takes up to 4 weeks for election results and Florida has theirs in 4 hours. If you can't prove what they're doing other than saying they're slow, that's not evidence of fraud. What you're saying is Florida counts their votes quickly because they're doing it legitimately, and California takes forever because they're cheating. That won't hold up in court, though. That's like you ever go to school and you take a test and you can leave once you're done with the test? Some students are done in 20 minutes. Other students, the damn bell rings and they're still needing more time. Does that mean the student who's sitting there forever is cheating? No, some people are just slower. Some people are just slower at what they do. California's it has a lot larger population than Florida does. So that ain't gonna fly. But like I said, you're using suspicion to justify claims of fraud. It took you longer, that don't look right. Okay, it don't look right, but that doesn't automatically equate to fraud. And I see in the comments, even none of your business says that. So because California takes their time, it's fraud. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Because California takes longer, whereas Florida can do it the same night or something. That means California's cheating. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You're trying to make fraud out of things that you think don't look right. That's not, and that will never hold up in court. That will absolutely never hold up in court. They did not release it, but the leftist media would take it down, and when you're not explaining though why all of the right-wing politicians are saying Trump lost. You want to blame the media so bad, but you're not explaining why all of these right-wing senators and right-wing Congress and right-wing members of Trump administration are all saying he lost. That's not the media. Explain that. You're skipping over there's a whole bunch of people on the right that say Trump lost. Way more folks on the right that are in power say Trump lost those elections than they are saying he won. You're just fishing for what you want to hear. But the overwhelming majority of people talking about the 2020 election on the right say Trump lost. In government, say Trump lost. In positions of power and legislative positions, like judicial positions, they say Trump lost. I'm going to keep asking folks until somebody says what I want to hear. That's what you're doing. He lost. It's as simple as that. The dude lost. And if he hadn't, you would know by now. People are smart. They have a good bead on things. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I always believe that election was stolen. Nobody wins by that many votes in one night when they're down that much. So that is logic. No, it's not logic. Look, like I said, Biden winning by that many votes, Biden allegedly getting more votes than Obama, all of that can be chalked in the category of quote unquote looking suspicious. But it doesn't automatically prove fraud. Listen, if you're okay with Trump making $2.2 billion in one fucking year, don't that look suspicious? You're not suggesting that's fraud. He made $2.2 billion. How many of the most successful business people on the planet make over $1 billion in one single year? Even the most successful businessmen, outside of, I guess, Richard Branson or Bezos or Elon Musk, most successful businessmen don't make anywhere near $1 billion in a year. Nowhere near that. I don't hear you saying nothing about how that looks suspicious, and that must be fraud. You want to talk about how many extra votes Biden got? Look at all the extra money Trump made. Let's be consistent now. If you can ignore Trump making, I think they said he made 6,000 times a presidential salary. He made 6,000 times his salary in 1 year. If you don't see no suspicion in that to allege fraud, get the hell out of here with the election. Trump's obituary, Trump lied, Trump cheated, Trump screwed us, Trump died. That's going to be his obituary, say. So you probably believe that the votes for the Los Angeles Mariners run was done legally right there. I'm asking for one thing, proof. All you're giving me is more shit that sounds suspicious. I'm asking you for one thing, proof. I don't want to hear about no media. I don't want to hear about all these proof. If you can say it, you got it from somewhere. Otherwise, you made it up. President Trump alleged that dead people were voting. He alleged that illegal immigrants were voting. Okay, well, show me some dead people. Show me some illegal immigrants. Show me some arrests, because if they're doing this crime, then that means you should be prosecuting them, right? Where are all of the prosecutions at? You got 70 plus million people voting for both candidates on both sides. You should have thousands of people being arrested. Where are they at? You gonna tell me the media hid them from you too? Where are your arrests at? If you're alleging all this widespread fraud, it should be easy to catch some of these people. Where's all their arrests at? You guys believe anything, man. I'm telling you. You got people getting arrested by high school students working in a fucking gas station using a fake ID. They're catching people. Bartenders catching people using fake IDs to get a drink. But you got all these polling officers, ain't nobody getting caught. None of them. Where are all these arrests at? A lot of polling places have a sheriff working there or a police officer. Where are all of the people getting caught? And that makes sense to MAGA. That actually makes sense to them. What does that say? That is not true. I don't know why I'm saying that, though. It doesn't matter anymore. Belgium was a better team and deserves to advance over American soccer. Actually, it does matter, Lat, because Trump got involved in it now. If Belgium had to just beat America, Trump could have used that and said, look, they cheated. You know, you see this play is clearly not what do they call it? A red card or whatever it's called. This is clearly, they clearly, judged this wrong. But now that he got involved and had it overturned and we still lost, now he looks bad. Now it looks like it was too big to rig, as they would say, talking about election Friday. We were so good, we're too good for you to rig it. So to me, it makes it look worse. It kind of reminds me, it almost reminds me of that, what was the African-American guy who ran and won in front of Hitler? What was the guy's, somebody, Jesse Owens, what was his name? Ran and won in front of Hitler. Evil says, hey, Tim, good evening. You are buffering on YouTube. Make sure did I not turn on wow, I did the whole live without Wi-Fi on. I do apologize for that. That's why we're buffering. So we got that taken care of. But also, Diaper Man ain't shit, he says. But yeah, like I said, I'd be with the Save America Act and all of that shit if Trump was providing proof. If he was providing solid proof that a whole bunch of illegal immigrants are voting and all this stuff, I would be more favorable to the Save America Act. Now I've made it clear I don't believe the action anti-transgender shit in it. I don't believe biological males should be able to play against girls in sports and kids should be able to get gender assigning surgery and all of that shit. I don't agree with it, but it should not be in the Save America Act. It should have its own separate bill. Why that's in the Save America Act, you know, you can live out your I hate transgender people fantasies in another piece of legislation. It doesn't need to be in this act. But the stuff you are alleging to get the act passed, show evidence of it. And you're not going to get that from Trump. So as far as I'm concerned, at that point, I'm not for it. And I'm not for most of the stuff you guys are saying in regards to the 2020 election. Most of this stuff come with no proof. Or he could just allege something and you guys want to believe it so bad that that's good enough to you. Like the Haitians eating cats and dogs. If you don't like Haitian people and you already are questioning their culture, you didn't need any proof they were actually eating cats and dogs. You just believed it. Trump says a lot of wild shit that people just believe. And for God's sake, I don't understand it. Voter fraud is bullshit. Take that, Republicans. I believe there's some Republicans. I mean, I do believe there's some people. There may be some isolated cases of voter fraud. I don't believe that our elections are 100% free and fair. But I don't believe if Trump got the Save America Act, that would guarantee that either. I still don't think it would be 100. To me, if you want to talk about cheating in elections, there is nothing more fraudulent than gerrymandering. Yeah, it started before Trump. Trump is not the first person to gerrymander. But when you got a president able to call the governor like he did in Texas and say, get me 5 more additional seats, and it doesn't even matter how the people vote, he know he's going to win 5 more congressional seats based on what him and Governor Abbott are doing. I don't know what you want to say the Democrats are doing, but to me, you stealing a lot more votes than a gang of illegal immigrants anybody else could do. To me, that's more fraudulent than anything that Trump is talking about. Gerrymandering the state ahead of time so you already know you're going to win 5 additional seats in this state. That guy is supposed to be the one that wants elections to be free and fair. The guy who did that. And you guys buy this shit. That dude came down the golden escalator, said the elections were rigged. And now he is the one telling the governor to get him 5 more additional seats. That dude is the one that's supposed to be fixing elections in America. And you guys are buying that. Like I said, you guys believe a lot of crazy shit. In the comments, I don't even understand why that is legal. I don't either, but I think every 10 years, because people do move around. A lot of people are leaving California right now. High taxes and things like that, high cost of living. They're moving to places like Arizona and Texas. So eventually, those places they're moving to are going to have a larger population and you take a different census or whatever. But it's normally every 10 years, not on demand like Trump did. Because Texas, I think they did it in 2021 or something. And then Trump had them do it again in like 3 or 4 years. You don't normally do it that quick. So that's cheating in an election. That dude is the one that's supposed to be fixing elections and making them free and fair. No, I don't buy that. You can't prosecute anyone as long as there's leftist judges running everything and left media. Susan, I don't look. Every fucking judge in existence leans left or right. They all do. They are all appointed by somebody who leans left or right. I don't get why or how you guys are 100% fine with conservative judges ruling in conservative ways. But the minute a left judge rules in a left-wing way, oh, he's corrupt now. You just biased. You just want everything your way. All judges lean one way or another. They all do. But for some reason, you believe only the left judges are always going to be biased. The right-wing judges, they'll do everything free and fair. Okay. Like I said, that comes with no proof, though. Trump sacrificed a lot for America. Really? The fuck he sacrificed? The fuck did Trump sacrifice for America? He is exceptionally wealthier. Not to mention, I don't know, like, what great stuff did America gain out of President Trump? I don't know. I mean, sacrifice what? He was rich before he became president. He is significantly richer after becoming president. What did he sacrifice? I don't know what he sacrificed. He sacrificed anything. Now, he did have apparently three attempts on his life. He did face 2 impeachments and a host of court cases. But it's easy to argue that, first of all, when it came to the court cases, he actually had committed some crimes. And of course, I don't think anybody could run their mouth and attack as many people as Trump without facing the same shit. So if Trump had just came in to the White House in a dignified, professional manner, like Bush or Obama or Reagan, I don't think he would have faced half of the drama and half of the problems he's dealt with. But if you enjoy attacking high-powered people, launching personal attacks on senators and generals, the fucking Pope, and yeah, you're gonna have drama. Congress people, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of drama when you're doing that. Nobody else does that. Because people, well, they never gave Trump a rest. They was always attacking him. He was always attacking people too. No other president tried that shit. So it's going to come with some drama. But I believe Trump brought a lot of that on himself. Fuck all that he's been screwing with my parlays. Trump sacrificed a lot of righteousness in America. Yeah, I don't know what this. Look, Trump came in power. I think he got power hungry, enjoyed himself. I don't know what he's really. I don't see where America's become great. We've had 6 years of Trump almost now. I don't see a huge benefit above any other president. There's some areas where he's done good. There's some areas where he's done horrible. I don't see where he's made all this huge sacrifice and all this other shit. Why are they so against our law of having people show ID like every other country does to vote to show other? Wait a minute. Why are they against our law to have people show ID like every other country does to vote to show their legal citizens? Why is that? Answer that question. Because it's based on a lie, first of all. As I also mentioned, the Save America Act got a bunch of anti-transgender legislation in it, so that's going to cause people to resist. If the law is about making the elections fairer, get all of that I hate trans shit out of the Save America Act. I mean, that has no place in it. That's like that's like the left trying to pass a law that's got all kinds of anti-gun shit in it that has nothing to do with what they're talking about. Get that I hate trans shit out of there. So that's the first thing. Get all of that out of there. But they're going to be against the Save America Act because it goes above and beyond just asking for an ID. The right is trying to tell you is we just need to see an ID to vote. No, because most Americans already have an ID. And in many cases, that ID will not get you the ability to vote. If the police pull you over while you're driving, or they stop you while you're walking down the street and you give them a state ID, that ID should be all you need to vote. In many states, it's not enough. It's not enough. Because if your driver's license or your state ID, if you're a married woman, you don't have your birth name on your driver's license. You're going by your husband's name. That'll work with the cops. It's fine to drive on. It's fine to do everything else in life on. But to vote, they're going to want to see your marriage certificate proving why your name changed, and they're going to want to see your birth certificate as well. So now you need 2 additional documents. And in many cases, folks who are driving around with a driver's license or maintaining a state ID are going to need additional documents to vote. So it's more than just requiring an ID. And you don't have to believe anything you're hearing here. It's all over the media that you don't believe as well, but the media is making it clear this is more than just requiring an ID. And then I think the other issue is the lack of trust for President Trump. Because the more documents you require people come forward with, that's more stuff you can disqualify. Your birth certificate, as you heard what he said about Obama's birth certificate. He didn't believe that was accurate. You think he won't say the same about yours? So you show the birth certificate to vote, and they're claiming your birth certificate is not genuine. They're claiming your marriage certificate is not genuine. They're claiming documents you're producing. You only got 4 more months until the midterms. If they start telling you documents are fake, you don't have a lot of time to clean that up. It's too close. That's why I'm against the Save America Act. It is too fucking close to pass this piece of legislation and have the whole country rushing to get documents with only 4 months left. It's too close. If you want to do it for 2028, we can have a conversation. But November? No, it's too close at this point. The mail's going to lose shit. People are going to procrastinate and take a couple weeks or whatever. And the writer's going to say, well, you knew you didn't have much time. You should have done it. I mean, it's too close. So that's why I'm not with it. It should have been, if you done it, you do it a couple years out. This particular election, let them use their driver's license. And let me just say this real quick. If you get pulled over by the cops and they take your driver's license, how long do you think it would take them to find out if you're a citizen or not? They can find that shit out in 10 minutes. Your driver's license has your social security number on it, and your social security number tells a lot about you. Tells what part of the country you were born in, tells when you were born, all of that stuff. They don't actually need you to produce all these documents. They already know if you're a citizen or not. If they take your driver's license from you, a regular street cop, he could get on the radio and find out if you're a U.S. citizen within minutes. There's no reason for you to be bringing paperwork and all kinds of shit down to polling places or whatever to prove who you are. They already know who you are. Most of us men, you received a letter from the Selective Service when you turned 18. They knew who you were then. So why the hell am I 50 now? You got me proving it again. You knew who I was back then. So yeah, this is bullshit. They're trying to make you prove stuff because they have something to gain by making you jump through hoops that they already know. President Trump fights for the American people. Democrats fight for the illegals so they can steal the votes. They don't even have to show ID. I wonder why that is. All you got to do, Susan, is show me a bunch of illegals getting arrested for voting, and I'm on your side. I don't want to hear shit you're making up or claiming. If illegals are voting at that level, just show me some arrests. It ain't that hard to catch them. There's cameras in every polling place. Show me the people getting caught. And then you would score a point. But I've said many times over and over again, ain't nobody walking to America damn near barefoot, paying coyotes 6 months' salary, running from the cartel all along the way and shit, running through the desert, hiding in a truck so they can get smuggled through desert heat and shit, getting into America safely, working under the table to stay hidden while they're an illegal, finally being able to send a little bit of money back home to their mother or little brother that they're making now that they've reached the promised land, and they gonna throw all of that shit away to cast one vote? That ain't happening. And that's why you're not able to prove it. There's no way in hell you gonna go through all of that and put yourself at risk to cast one vote in a country with 400 million people. There's just no fucking way you're gonna do that. You get caught casting a vote after making it to the promised land and get your ass deported. Your own people may beat your ass when you get back home. You actually made it over there and you got deported for this bullshit. You tried to cast a vote in the middle of Arizona. I don't see any evidence ever coming out about that, because there is none. Nobody tried to cast no one fucking vote. But it sounds good for the right, who already thinks these illegals are criminals, vermin, rapists, and murderers, and all this other shit. So it makes sense to them. Anyhow, I gotta step away as always. Somebody in the comments asked, is Mitch McConnell deceased? I don't know. I don't know. It don't listen. He's been gone for a while. I don't know if Mitch McConnell is deceased, but I don't feel confident. The right would tell you the truth if he is. I don't know. Handsome Conservative says that's because Satan was given dominion over the earth. That's actually in the Bible. You got to have faith. That ain't good, by the way, conservative. Why would you give this man, if you're all knowing, all powerful, why would you let this guy control your creation? You can't get rid of Satan. Why don't you do your people a solid and just get rid of this dude? You know he means nobody any good. Why don't you just do what you got to do to get rid of that guy? Why would you leave him around and allow him to cause all kinds of misery on gazillions of your people? Just get rid of him. If it was Trump, we would know. Yeah, globalism is something we can't stop, and it's thanks to technology, but honestly, not bad to get in line with the world. True. But like I said, the fraud thing, you're never going to get most of Trump's claims on that because they're just not true. As Trump said in the Art of the Deal, if you tell a lie, well, he didn't say if you tell. He said if you repeat something over and over again, people just believe it. And if you notice, that's his MO. If you go to one Trump rally, you've been to all of them. That's exactly what he does. He repeats whatever he believes in over and over and over again. And it does work. As somebody who's been to a couple Trump rallies, I can tell you for a fact, there was a lot of repeats when I went to the second rally. If you go to one of his rallies, he's saying the same thing over and over again at many. Like there's this guy out there called Front Row Joe. My MAGA folks know what I'm talking about. Front Row Joe has been to dozens of Trump rallies. I think over 100 of them. He's been to dozens of Trump rallies. Like, why the fuck are you going to these things? I mean, like he's doing this, he's saying the same thing. How many times do you need to hear YMCA? Like, it's the same shit over and over again. He's been to dozens of Trump rallies. They call him Front Row Joe. He sits in the front row. He was not at the ones I went to, but they call him Front Row Joe. It's like, why are you going to this? Like, how many times you need him to say the same thing over and over again? I mean, I guess you get to be in Trump's presence and he points you out or something. I don't know, but you're spending money to travel around and follow Trump like he's the Grateful Dead or something like that. And this guy just goes to all of these rallies and sits in the front row. Reagan told businesses to send jobs and headquarters overseas. Are you kidding me? The Democrats gave free Social Security cards out to illegal aliens so they can vote. Why can't you just present some illegals that got arrested? Why are you giving me everything but proof? If you got thousands of illegals voting, what? I could pass an email to all of the bars in America tonight. I need you to show me everybody you caught trying to get liquor with a fake ID. By tomorrow, I would have hundreds of bars responding of people they caught using fake IDs. If you got all these, where's the evidence of people getting caught? I don't want to hear about how they make IDs or why they do. Show me people getting caught. Show me the criminals. Why can't you do that? That makes no sense. You're claiming all of this widespread fraud, and they all got away with it, huh? All of them. I gotta go. It's your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Appreciate you guys. Follow the program if you're watching us on Instagram, Substack, TikTok, or Clapper right now. If you're watching us on YouTube, your politics is irrelevant, folks. We are MAGA friendly. We criticize Trump plenty, but we do criticize the left as well. We believe in free speech. We let everybody speak. Doesn't matter what your politics is. You can be critical of anyone, including the host when you come up or when you're in the comments section. So if you enjoy politics from all sides of the aisle, we're here most weeknights. Give your boy a sub if you're watching on YouTube. And follow us if you're watching us live on Instagram, Substack, TikTok, Clapper. And by the way, we do have Rumble. I'm going to try to go live on Rumble soon. We like to go to the MAGA outlets. You can't go live on Truth. X is really weird. We went live on X a couple times. We're going to start trying to go live on Rumble. So anyhow, and I see, Lisa, you said you accidentally raised your hand. Okay, fair enough. You worked as a poll worker. I would have loved to have it. But it says you have to register to get on the books at the polling location. If you're not registered, you can't. Yeah, look, I already know is for the most part, it's kind of like what you're saying, Lisa, because if there were as many people cheating in the election as Trump alleges, they would give you proof. They would have proof of it. When Trump feels like he's got you dead to rights, he has no problem proving what he's saying. When he is alleging stuff and providing no proof, that should tell you all you know. It doesn't. It's not true. If he had proof, you would know about it. It's your boy Tim. Catch you guys. Y'all take care and have a good night. Thank you very much. I'm out.